स्टार्ट कर रहा है ये वो लगे स्टार्ट है टाइम बोल
आइए।
जल्दी कर रही।
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to day 2 of the Industry Academia Conclave 2026 at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. We hope you had an engaging and enriching experience during yesterday's sessions. Today we continue our journey of innovation, collaboration and entrepreneurial inspiration with an exciting lineup of sessions. The day begins with startup success stories where entrepreneurs and innovators will share their inspiring journeys and experiences of building impactful ventures. This will be followed by an insightful talk by an expert from the DST highlighting research opportunities, innovation ecosystems and various national initiatives in science and technology. We are also privileged to have a talk by distinguished entrepreneur Mr. Vadvaji, followed by a fruitful panel discussion on MSMEs, focusing on innovation, entrepreneurship, opportunities, and industry growth. I request Professor Mamta Khosla, former Dean Industry and International Affairs and Executive General Chair, to kindly welcome and felicitate our speakers, today's speakers. Dr. Prashant M. Nayak, co-founder OSA Plus Simulations. Please extend a warm welcome to Dr. Prashant M. Nayak. Please extend a warm welcome to our another speaker, Dr. C.S. Yadav, Scientist, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Thank you, ma'am. So let's start with our first session. It is our privilege to have with us two distinguished innovators and entrepreneurs, Mr. Piyush D. UK and Dr. Prashant M. Nayak, who will be sharing their entrepreneurial journeys, experiences, challenges and insights from building successful ventures. I take this opportunity to introduce our speakers. Mr. Piyush D. UK is the co-founder and CTO of OSA Plus Simulations, a healthcare technology startup working in the areas of medical simulation and additive manufacturing. With over a decade of experience in biomedical product development, 3D printing, CAD/CAM and anatomical modeling, he has contributed significantly to the development of advanced surgical simulators for healthcare education and training. He holds a MTech in CAD/CAM from PDPM IIITDM Jabalpur and has collaborated extensively with doctors, researchers and academic institutions. Our another speaker is Dr. Prashant M. Nayak. He is a distinguished otologist and implant surgeon from Nagpur and the co-founder of OSA Plus Simulations. A gold medalist in DLO and MS ENT from Government Medical College, Nagpur. He has over 3 decades of experience in otology, temporal bone surgery and surgical education. Dr. Nayak is widely recognized for pioneering highly realistic 3D printed temporal bone simulation models that have significantly enhanced hands-on training for ENT surgeons and residents. Through OSA Plus Simulations, he has trained more than 1,000 students through over 45 specialized workshops. He has actively represented and promoted these innovations at several prestigious national and international ENT forums and associations. So we welcome both of you and looking forward for an exciting session. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. So very good morning, Master Dr. Prashant Naik, as Madam introduced, with so many good words. Thanks a lot, Madam. I come from Nagpur, way from Nagpur, first time to the London, and I found Jaipur very welcoming. I'm very pleased to come here. Next time whenever I will come with my wife. She's also 80. We both are 80. It's a rare combination. Fruitful as well as hazardous. Combination is very challenging combination. Both of us sit in the same opening at the same time.
I understand it.
Yeah. So, that was start of story. Let us start the start of story. You take it.
Sure. So, hi, I'm Piyush. I'm taking CAD from proprietary in Jabalpur. So, we started this startup in 2016, and this was a spin-off of a college project which was given there. And the topic, this was my thesis topic in MTech. So, from there we have converted that, like the academic problem, what we were solving, we converted that academic problem into an industrial problem. And then from the industrial problem, we have tried to commercialize the product. So, like in yesterday's panelists were discussing, like as an academician, we always think of developing a solution for the academics, but we never think of developing a solution for the commercial industry or for the market, for the opportunities what we have. So, how we converted the academic problem into a opportunities solution. So, that is what we did in the last 10 years. So, that small journey, we will try to summarize that small journey in this talk. So, let's begin with the talk. So that's the name of a company, OSA Plus Simulation. So that's me, I'm Piyush, Dr. Prashant. So while doing my MTech, I was searching for a problem for my thesis. And luckily I met Dr. Prashant, who is a leading ENT surgeon in Nagpur. And I got introduced to him, and I was exploring the opportunity in 3D printing domain. And I wanted to align the 3D printing with the biomedical side, with the biomedical application. So that was one thing which was already defined by me for myself, where I want to explore the research. And during the same time, when I got introduced to Dr. Prashant, and he has given me the problem to develop an artificial surgical simulator model for temporal bone. So that was the challenge for me, and that's how we made time our journey started. So he have given me the problem, I have given him the solution. And later on we combined, clubbed together and formed this company.
So, yeah, very good. Now I say officially very good morning to all the, especially students. This story is for the students. I hope they should get some inspiration to come up with such ideas and go up with, start their own startups and innovations. There are no limits to imaginations and bringing them in real life. Story. सक्सेस स्टोरी कथा सक्सेस स्टोरी यशोगाथा इतनी बड़ी कोई यशोगाथा नहीं है. आई होप एवरीबडी अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी. हाउ मेनी अंडरस्टैंड मराठी? Okay, yeah, you understand. Thank you, ma'am. To start with, I'm not a very good storyteller. My grandmother was a very good storyteller. She used to tell the stories in such a way with proverbs, idioms, poems, acting, full of her storytelling was. I still remember her. And storytelling, of course, is an art. I'm not very good at it, but I remember one thing. When I was studying in GMC Nagpur Medical College and VNIT Nagpur, whenever groups of these two colleges come in front of each other, there used to be invariably fights between them. So, and whosoever was less number in the group, they used to har jate the or maar khate. And here I find I am the only one medical here, all are Indians. So I hope the story doesn't bore you so that you don't come on me. I am alone. Piyush, my colleague is there, yes. Yeah. That was the proverb she used to often quote. Maternal grant. The chota sa murti tha, but so active there. I don't know where that energy has gone. Abhi humko thakaan lagti hai. Previous necessity, of course, is the most important thing. Is the real mother. Mother is a very big word. Mother of invention. Of course, next. And But before starting on this story, I should make you familiar with some terms. Otology. Otos means what? Piyush? Otos means ear.
Ear.
So Piyush has learned so many terms along with me. Otology. As I said, otology, rhinology, laryngology. Rhinos means nose, larynx means throat. So temporal bone, a bone here, which is really concerned with time. Tempora means time. No? So graying of hair occurs here. So that is why the bone is called as temporal bone. So temporal bone and mastoid is the one part of that bone which holds all the important structures in the ear. Believe me, ear is very, very complex, very complex. So many nerves, so many vessels, important, going to the brain, and it's in 1 cubic inch. All that those structures are situated. That's why every ENT surgeon will have to go on doing hands-on dissection practice, so that it doesn't cause any damage to the patient during surgery. Next. So that is the temporal bone situated on the lateral side. What is lateral? Side view.
Side.
So he has learned the terms lateral, anterior, posterior. So lateral side of the stem, and it protects the patient from down. Next, that is the temporal bone, and I was very fond of doing the dissections, and for the dissections we need cadaveric bones. And in those days, you have seen James in Arthur, there is a mortuary, dissection hall mortuary, and we used to stand in front of the window. Chotu we used to call. He used to come out, sir, kitne bole? And we used to carry the nip. You need nip, pint is half a liter, nearly half a liter. Nip is smaller of the desi. Yeah. And then Chotu used to come after 15-20 minutes carrying a plastic bag. और इधर देने का ये नीप इधर जाएगा ऐसा. So those were the days. I think sometimes were they good days? Yes, in many days they were good days. Now so many things have happened over a period. I used to face, next slide, the scarcity of the bone. So many reasons. And bone ही नहीं मिलता था. क्या करें? Dissection तो करना है. I had to come. Because if you go on knowing the things, you sort of get addicted to know more. Education can be addictive. One reading something specific and you know that you don't know anything. And when you start having that feeling of you don't know anything, then you learn more. Okay? So scarcity is the mother of invention, I'll say, in at least our next slide. And I tried making the bone out of all these. I have made ossicles out of clay, out of wood, and by doing that, I have learned somewhat carving also. So that has improved. Now I can carve any name in the wood, like that, pitch or plaster of Paris. I have made bones out of these. Of course, they were not like real. So next idea was, I came across this article, 3D virtual model of the temporal bone. 3D virtual model. Next slide, please. By destiny, I'm fond of reading everything, whatever comes at hand. So by destiny, I came across this software made by Michael Dexedo from US. I downloaded the software. This is actually the temporal bone, but these are the insides of the bone. You can rotate, you can have any view. So after studying this virtual model, later thought came, why can't we print it? So that was the lateral thought, and for printing, made is not at all good for any technology. I don't know any technology. Okay, so there was a search for tech guy, the tech guy, the T capital A, the tech guy. So I contacted VNIT, I contacted the HOD there. She sent one candidate. He came to my clinic. We discussed the bone, the intricacies. Two times, 3 times, and fourth day I called madam, this student Bhagya, because there are so many intricacies, and he was very afraid of. So she sent me another student. The Bhagya story repeated 5 times. 5 students Bhagya, yes, and then they were wise enough to run away. They were wise enough to run away. He is mad enough to stick with me. Piyush stuck with me. Hey, you want to add something?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they run. Can you imagine, like, as a tech guy, if you visit a doctor for a problem, and on the first meeting, if he gives you an actual dead bone, a bone from a dead body, will you stay there or you will run away? वहाँ ना वो एक तांत्रिक वाली फीलिंग आने लगी थी एकदम से जैसे मैं सबसे मिलने गया फर्स्ट टाइम. So he have actually given me the real cadaver bone, and he have shown me कि this is not something we want to replicate as it is. So the question was like, is it really feasible to make something which the God have created?
But before he came, I studied myself why the 5 students have ran away, why they are not sticking with me. Next slide. So
I can answer that question, sir.
Okay.
So they ran away mostly because the scarcity of the cadaver bone. Because as a technocrat, we are scared of cadavers. Because we are not medical. We cannot go and touch the dead bodies. We have the scarcity. So most of the students, when we talk about with them regarding the cervical circulation, so as a technocrat now, I know the problem, what they are facing. So when I talk with them, I hardly say them that we are going to see or touch the cadavers. So we will first try to simulate the artificial one. Slowly we will move towards the cadaver to do the validation. So that was one of the reasons why most of the students have ran away. Of course, the challenge was to develop the model as it is, because something which is been created by the God, so that we cannot replicate as it is. So that was also another challenge. But this was the basic mindset why students used to run away from such kind of problems.
And next, please. So that is a very tussle. Always engineers versus doctors. They say fight, so that they say fight will always be there. But I thought one of the reasons is also lingo, the language, the slang, the vocabulary, the phrases we use in medical are totally different from what engineers use in their colleges or their lives. So all the students, I always say, all the students whosoever are not married, never marry a doctor. So they are going to cause the lingo problems, and you are going to have more fights and more fights. But the guy here, Mr. Piyush, he stuck with me. He was very consistent, and his persistence in learning the things. And also I had to adapt myself. Rather than saying sagittal, I used to say lateral, not lateral, side view, like that. Front view, side view, top view, down view, like. So we learn each other's language. If you can learn each other's language, then you can marry a doctor, of course. Yes, you can. But next slide. Yeah, and he was at Jabalpur, I was at Nagpur. I used to come from hospital in evening, that night, and then we used to sit on the laptops and using team viewers. We used to work, study together, sharing the screens of each other. Almost daily, minimum 2 hours. It would have extended up to 5 years also sometimes. But we studied for 9 months. What did we study? Next slide. We studied what? What are these? Views. What are these? So we had to study these.
So to beat the problem, so one thing is, many times what we think is like when we are developing a solution for a particular problem, we think only the problem which exists, but we don't think about the background of the problem. Like as a techno guy, I was doing MTech in CAD/CAM. So for me, playing with the software was not a big task. So I was aware of the SolidWorks, I was aware of the Mimic software, I was aware of the software which were converting the CT scan into a 3D model. But do I really know how to read a CT scan? As we say, we should always know about the basics of what we are learning. Unless and until our basic concepts are clear, we cannot succeed in developing a successful product. So before even developing the temporal bone CAD model, I started learning about the CT scans. So what exactly is CT scan? How the features can be seen into the CT scan? Like this is the image of a CT scan, and these are the images of MRI. So we learned, sir taught me how to read the CT scan, how to read the MRI, how to extract the features from the CT scan, from the MRI. And now deliberately today in today's class, like many times some cases comes to sir by doing the operation. So we both discuss on the CT scan. So that's how even this experience helped me to learn some complicated, helped me to learn the complexity of the CT scan, reading the complexity of the CT scan. So that's how we did the things. So
Remember here, students, all the students, how many CT scans we learned? This is of one patient. One patient CT scan having sections from top to bottom 400. Sections from side to this side 400. Sections from front to back 400. 400, 1200 sections. Each section we have to define where is what, where is the nerve, where is the vessel, where is the bone, where is not. Like that. Each slide we have to study 1200 of this, 1200 of MRS. Like that we studied. That's why we took 9 months. 9 months. And just remember the nature, the Almighty, the God makes whole body in 9 months. It can be made in 9 months. Live baby comes out in 9 months. We took just one bone to study 9 months and then come out with what we call as virtual model. Next. So the first virtual model was ready on the screen. It was looking very, very promising. Have you ever had this feeling of butterflies in the stomach? Anyone? Can you please raise a hand? Butterflies in the stomach. Yeah. The first love. Can give it somewhat sort of. Not fear, but love. Okay? The same feeling is carried by many doctors whenever they are performing surgery. You have very important vessel, you should not touch it, but you have to remove the disease from the vessel. So butterflies in the stomach is a very sort of exciting as well as scary feeling. So with that butterflies in the stomach healing, we went ahead for 3D printing and I think this was printed at Jabalpur. I am very much thankful to Naren sir. He is such a good, whosoever is studying under Naren sir is lucky enough. Yes, luck has favored them. So he is a good fellow. He was there at time. Prashant Jain sir was also there at time. And throughout the night he sat chatting. वो प्रिंटर अपना काम कर रहा था और हम बातें कर रहे थे. But आप चले गए थे बाद में. यहाँ judicial there. Okay, so those are the ghastly results of the first printed next slide. And those are the ghastly bands of fibers coming out. We were so sad. So sad. I was depressed. I didn't look at the bone for a few days, 3-4 days. He went on printing the same. He used to say me. And then next, yeah, I like some definitions I really like. They strike us like anything. Tipping point. Anyone has read the tipping point book? Raise the hand. Yeah. Tipping point book. Sir, I'm forgetting. It's a very good book. Tipping point means the critical threshold in a situation where a small incremental change triggers unstoppable, significant, irreversible cascade of events. That was like, chhod de ya chalu rakhe. Situation was like, should we stop at doing the work further? And that was the tipping point. It came with the ray of hope. Next slide. That ray of hope, I was just looking at whatever bone I had thrown in the waste basket. I picked it up. I saw the bone against some light source and I could see these two rays of hope. There were canals inside. So I picked up every bone from the basket and I found same site there were these canals, and that is the glenoid fossa, the fossa of the mandible. And I know in this fossa there are two openings. One is of artery, one is of nerve. So each waist and bone is having the same. So they are so constant. So we are making some mistake. Then next, some iterations about how many making more than 150 or 200. Yeah. So many bones. We used to make improvement and fine features started to make presence, and again needed 9 months period to come up with this bone, the virtual model, and our first successfully printed bone with all the external supports. Our bone is very unique. All the other, whatever are available in the world, they are using internal supports also. This guy can make anything possible. Only external supports which could be taken out. Every vessel, every nerve canal is patterned. Inner ear is very much patterned. So many intricate surgeries can be taught on this bone. We hold the workshops. Next slide. Yeah, yeah, no trouble, all canals. Minute details. Yes. Next. Now, after, of course, there is post-processing, so much goes on. We have to put in the nerves and vessels, and we have to layer, the dura. Dura means the covering of the brain. So next. Unique feature of this 3D printed double bone, it's of course it doesn't need any preservative. It's very hygienic. You can take it to your kitchen table and start setting on the kitchen table. There's no cross-infection fear. Religious beliefs are not disturbed. Cost factor is it's a very affordable, very low cost bone. And it's very realistic. We have measured how it feels as compared to the cadaveric bone, how it feels. How much we have an 89.99% similar to the cadaveric bone. So he goes on measuring that and customizable. Nowadays we get the CT scans from some doctors which are patients are having disease. They send the CT scan, we print the diseased bone, we send the bone to them, they practice on the bone and then they do the surgery. Yeah. Yes, destiny does favor those who are sincere enough, I think. That bone I took to Dallas Conference of American Academy. Dr. K.J. Lee is a very senior doctor. He is the founder member of American Academy. He had started the American Academy. He was 85 years that time, and I had sort of 8 minutes, and he came somewhat late, so he didn't disturb anyone. He was standing at the back. Hall mein Lee Sir Mahadre. I didn't know him that time. I had seen his photographs on that. And Lee Sir waited patiently. After everyone left at the top, he called me. And he said, whatever you have presented, I have never seen such presentation of this bone. You should use the bone for academic purposes, for teaching our fellow students and surgeons. You work on it. If you have any difficulty, please let me know. Since that time, I am in touch with Dr. K.J. sir. Last year we met. At that time he was 96. Last year, last October. Indianapolis, last October. So he is, of course, very active by brain. 96 years. Dr. K.J. sir, I will never forget you. Yes. So he gave the inspiration to the startup and now start the startup. So over to Piyush, startup tomorrow. Yes.
So this was the background of academics, how we have taken up the problem as an academic problem and converted that problem into academic solution. Now the question is, what next? So we have already developed a solution. So what should we do next? So once in a while, like after pursuing my MTech, after completing my degree, I was back in my hometown in Nagpur, and I casually went to meet Dr. Prashant also, and we were having a tea and we were discussing what should we do next. So he told me that okay, now we have developed such kind of models, such kind of code, and which can be used to create an impact onto the society. And we can reform it the medical education. How currently the surgical training is happening, and how we can modify those surgical training by using this kind of model. So we were casually discussing on those things over a cup of tea, and then we had two options. So the first one was, since we have already developed an academic solution, so we can do a tech transfer. That was one of the easiest way to tackle the problem. And the second one was to have our own startup. So from there, we thought of choosing the hardest part, that is to have our own startup.
So don't discourage the student. It's not hard. It's not hard. But it's very easy part. You be there. You have to have a thought and you have to act like a torpedo and go behind that thought wherever it goes. So follow it and it's not hard.
It's not hard, but the thing is, like from academic point of view, we have to change our mindset. Like hardest part. Why I'm saying hardest part is because since we all are academicians, and I am also from an academic background. So when we came from such a background, our mindset is completely different. So from academic perspective, whenever a problem comes to us, we think of a solution from academic point of view. कोई भी problem है, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम एक project बनाएंगे, एक outcome बनाएंगे उस product का, and we will show it to the committee, we will show it to the college, we will show it in the presentation conferences. But we never think whether the solution what we have developed, is it really going to be beneficial by the society? Or the society is going to accept as it is? Or the market will accept the solution as it is? जब हमने बोन बनाना स्टार्ट किया, so the problem was only to develop an artificial temporal bone. But the bone what we have developed, when we started pitching the same bone as it is into the market was not ready to accept the product because their perspective was completely different. They were looking onto the product from a different point of angle. So we need to incorporate those points of angle into the product development. That's why we always call it as a product market fit.
I regret here how much time it takes for us, how much long we can talk. Because 15 minutes more. अरे वहाँ ज़्यादा हो गया. Yeah, जल्दी जल्दी करो.
So we need to change the mindset from academic to entrepreneur. But what exactly is the change of mindset? Now question comes to this. So as an academician, when we think for a solution, we only think about the feasibility of the solution. जैसे I am here in the campus for the past 2 days. I have visited few labs. अब वहाँ पे जाके मैंने what I have seen कि कोई भी proposal सब हम लोग डालते हैं. So we are making the solution for that proposal. We only think about the feasibility कि जो भी हमने problem define किया, objectives जो हमने mention किए हमारे proposals में और thesis में, वो objectives हम लोग कितना feasibly achieve कर सकते हैं.
So students, you can take photographs of these slides. These are very important for your startups if you want to really go for startups. So zero, maker, innovator, entrepreneur. That is why feasibility, desirability and viability of the project. You should think on these things and then you have to start ahead. Yes, go ahead.
So from academic point of view, we only think of feasibility, but when we convert our academic problem into entrepreneurship problem, we think about the feasibility, desirability as well as the viability. जो solution मैंने बनाया, क्या वो solution market को need है? If the solution is not being needed into the market, the solution is of no use. So even if we have a very good product, very successful product, but we cannot sell the product into the market. I can give you an example for this. We all know EVs. EVs को हम लोग आज के from the last 4 to 5 years we have seen the growth of EVs. But आप में से कितने लोगों ने यो बाइक देखा है? Do you know यो बाइक? Many older generation they might have known yo bike. Yo bike was the first EV which was there launched in India in around 2010 to 2012 that point of time, and they were using the lead acid batteries. So EV वो उस time पे उन्होंने launch किया था, but the problem was like that was very they were behind the time. उस time पे वो solution का market को need नहीं था. That's why the market didn't pick up the solution at that particular time. इसीलिए हम लोग यहाँ पे when we talk about the entrepreneurship journey, we always think of feasibility, desirability and viability. क्या वो solution market को आज के date में viable है या नहीं है, वो हमें देखना पड़ेगा. Okay? So this is how the mindset has to be changed. And from entrepreneurship point of view, we always need to think about the opportunities. As an academic problem, we have developed a temporal bone, but this temporal bone needed by the market. It's a very small problem which is there in the global phenomena. So what globally we are trying to solve? We are trying to transform the medical education by giving them a affordable surgical simulation. So if we talk about the current surgical practice, so current practice have been happening on cadaver bones or animal bones or mannequins. So these three are the only options on which the current surgical practice is happening. And the best way is to dissect a cadaver bone. Cadaver is nothing but the actual dead bodies. So, but if we talk about a dead body, how, what do you think? How many people are actually donating dead bodies in India for the medical cause? To be precise, very less. Maybe less than 1% of the people are donating the bodies. So now you imagine such a vast medical education institutes are there, and we have a very limited number of bodies for the practice. So how the surgeons are going to learn? The teaching learning curve is going to be very long. So that's why we have developed this kind of solution. So the problem is availability of cadaver, then the current surgical simulations, what are there in the market, they are very expensive as per Indian market size, and there is a global need of around 50,000 head and neck surgeons by around 2030. So these are the global challenges. What from academic challenge we converted an academic challenge into a global challenge. So these are the global challenges and the global opportunities what we saw into the domain. So for this domain, then we have started developing the solution. So the first solution is to make a lifelike surgical simulation models for surgical practice. The second is to give the hands-on training to the medical institutes, medical students, and the third is to make a patient-specific models. So these were the solutions what we have planned to offer. But still, whatever I have told you, these are all on paper. So from academic point of view, when we started to thinking of having a startup, the first thing was to make a proposal, to bring the idea onto the paper. So on the last 3 slides what we discussed, that was only on the paper. We haven't executed anything. What do we need to execute this plan? We need certain kind of things. So for execution, then while execution we were solving the major problem of the startup. So for execution we need a product. So product we already have. Then we needed a team who is going to develop the product and market the product. So a best thing is we should have a founder, a technical guy, a finance guy, a business guy. So if we have mixture of all these people onto the team, then that is known as a best team. Then we needed a space from where we are going to operate, from where we are going to do the R&D. So for the space, we have incubated at VNIT Nagpur. And then we needed the funds to start a startup. So for the funds, we had 2 options. One was to ask the investor about the funds or to bootstrap. Bootstrap means to put your own money for the start. So we bootstrap the project and we have started the startup.
Because I objected for investors.
Yeah.
Because I objected for investors. So we had to bootstrap. Yeah.
So now everything was on paper, everything was planned, and we started executing the product. Now comes the real question. Is your product ready for market? Is it a perfect market fit? So here, like as an academician, we should always ask ourselves, whatever the solution we are developing, is that solution ready for the market? Or do we need to reiterate the solution again for the market? So we again ask the same question. We have shown the prototype to few surgeons, we have technical feedback, and we came to know that the product still we have not achieved the product market fit. So then we started achieving the product market fit. For product market fit, we need fund. To accelerate the research, we needed a fund. So just to get the funds, we had few options. So one was like we applied a prestigious project of BIRAC BIG. So BIRAC, they run a BIG scheme every year, twice a time. And there we have applied. It's a very highly competitive grant, and we have won that grant in 2020 under BIG 15 policy.
At Bhubaneswar, and such a team was there. Such a singular table, and all the dignitaries, high authorities were standing and we were talking, and somehow luckily the girl, when we went out, the girl was maybe she came out and she just thanked us and congratulated. She said, yes, you have won. We were so surprised, how could we win this BIRAC? And BIRAC was 50 lakh grant was given to us, and that was the real turning point. Again, वहाँ पे तो bootstrapping खत्म हो गया था, खुद के पैसे कितने लगाएंगे? So we just took a chance and headed to Bhubaneswar. So I want to impress these points on you young people, that you have to have a positive mind, you have to work, and then destiny will favor you. अभी क्या करेंगे बैठे के अभी नहीं हो सकता. No, you have to have positivity, you have to have perseverance, you have to struggle for it. There is nothing else without struggle in life. So BIRAC was a real turning point, and then all the things happened.
So after getting the BIRAC, we completed the BIRAC in 22. Till that time, we have developed a product market fit. So we started validating the product into the market. We did the validation by 800 plus KOLs, and after successfully validating the product by the KOL, we launched the product in 3rd quarter of 2022. So that was the time when we have launched the first product. And again, with the same technology what we have developed, we have started shifting towards the developing of nose models. So now we are developing the nose models, throat model, ear model, and complete head and neck model. So we started applying the same solution into the different kind of models. So that's the traction what we had. And this is the first product what we have developed, and it has successfully been run into the market. So it's an artificial temporal bone, and this is the product market fit. It has all the nerves, all the vessels, and all the soft tissues, whatever are being needed, and all these details which you can see here. The red one is the artery. This is the nerve, the facial nerve. So these are all and these are the sinuses. So these are all the intricate details which were missing onto the academic prototype. And when we pushed the academic prototype into the market, because of absence of these features, the product was not being accepted into the market. So in the product market fit, we achieve all these things. Okay. And then we have created an impact. So till now we have supported more than 2,000. We have supported for the training of more than 2,000 plus EAT sellers. And we also conduct the surgical simulation workshops at various places. And we have conducted more than 50 plus surgical simulation workshops till time. And where Dr. Prashant, he is the leading faculty there, and he teaches the students regarding the surgical practices. So these are the impact what we have created. So what exactly did we learn from the journey?
Many things. First, there used to be quarrels also between us. Yes, it's very natural. And I used to lose patience, he used to lose patience. But don't lose patience, be perceived, be focused, be very positive, be very active, and be, as I said, torpedo जैसा जाता है ना सबमरीन के पीछे, वैसे ही आपको जाना है. There is no other way. Otherwise, you will lose the track, you will stop midway, and you will lose all your hard work. Okay? So, start before you are ready. Failure is feedback. अपयश यश की पहली पायरी है, ऐसा जो बोलते हैं, पर इतने भी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि सीढ़ी बन जाए अपयश. So that should be the first step, and then you should go on improving so that you come to the success some or the other time. Build relationships with the market, with your team, with the subordinates, and with everybody else. Consistency beats talent. Yes, consistency. कितना ज़्यादा पानी का बूंद गिरते रहे और रॉक में गड्ढा गिर रहा है, उतना consistency. पानी बूंद बूंद गिर रहा है, पत्थर है पर उसको भी गड्ढा बन जाएगा. That consistency is very, very important. Again, focused mind and consistency can give you success in everything in life, right from your marital relations to your academic relations and achievements. Yes, consistency. So what else? Any point you want to add?
Yeah, I have a small question here. So, what do you think to achieve a product market fit? How many iterations we would have created? Any rough number?
It's all. You can catch it.
Simple answer and numbers.
It's hard.
Any logical number?
Maybe 10, 20.
More than that. So to achieve a product market fit, we have created almost all 400 iterations.
Yeah.
So that is an example of consistency. So we never know when we are going to hit the market or when we are going to hit the right kind of solution. So consistently developing a solution is the only way to beat the talent. Like there were times when we were thinking about leaving the project and moving ahead. But is it really possible? Is it really feasible to do that? So the answer was no. So the consistent efforts what we need to create a solution for the market, that is being needed. So next learning is, so we learned about the leadership, we learned how to build a team, how to make the decision, how to manage the things. Like yesterday, Mr. Gera was telling us, as an engineer, we are only looking towards the solution from our domain perspective. He was telling us कि हमें GST के बारे में नहीं पता. We don't know about what is GDP, how taxes are being calculated, balance sheet कैसे बनती है. So all those things, the accounting principles we don't know. But here, when we had a startup, we all, along with the academics, along with the technical side, along with the medical side, we have also started learning about the accounts principle, the finance side. So these were also some of the things what we learned. So we have to manage all the uncertainties.
But you have to return them back. Yes.
So we don't know that when certain kind of uncertainty is going to happen. Sometimes CA may call us, अरे यार GST का रिटर्न डालना है, कैसे डालना है, क्या करना है. तो ये सारा uncertainty के हमें ready होना होता है.
Students want to
we
see the
cannot say
model.
कि मैं account
Any
बना
student
दूंगा, I
can
won't
come
do it.
forward. Yes. Can come forward. Get the model and circulate the models.
So the future is we are planning to develop a very good healthcare simulation models. We have a very good expansion plan, and we want to collaborate with NIT, J, and other academic institutes for improving the solution what we are offering. Okay.
We should have them. We are running out of time.
That's the last step.
Yes. Last one.
So these are the opportunities what we are looking for. Still there are many problems to be solved, and to solve those problems we are looking for active collaboration with academic institutes and how we can collaborate and develop the solutions. So that's the team of my co-founders. That's me, Piyush, Dr. Prashant, and he's Mr. Shashi, who takes care about the business development side. So that's how we came together, and now we are running a company.
Always remember that your opponent should never have the last line. You should have the last line. I have the last line. I just want to add, because I love the organ ear. Many of us don't realize how complicated the organ is. Our outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. Inner ear is just 5 millimeters in height, 5 mm, and 9 millimeters in width. That's the cochlea. Okay? Through that cochlea, there are hair cells, and there, as I was discussing yesterday with Naren sir, the cochlear hair cells, their hairs move in the dimensions of 10th of diameter of hydrogen atom. So minuscule movements, and they are giving you hearing. So perfect hearing. You know, listening is different, hearing is different. You are hearing, whether you are listening to me, I don't know, but you are hearing, yes. So that sound is going. Sound is again, you know it, sound is a very wonderful energy, and nothing like sound energy. But in conclusion, I say thank you, I am very much pleased, and I suppose all the engineers will not attack a medical man. So I am here alone, and I thank you all, I go to you all, and I am pleased to come to Jalandhar. Thank you. I have questions. Of course, questions are always welcome. Yes, sir.
Sir, I have two questions. Like, initially you said that you have got the grant of 50 lakh rupees.
Yeah, Mike, because I am very hearing also.
So, sir, thanks for the nice presentation. And I have two questions. Like, initially you said for setting up of any business, you require an initial fund. So you got amount of 15 lakh rupees from in the presentation. Sir, like suppose we want to open any startup, like initial fund, because we have very limited salary. How we get the initial fund without much of an interest? First thing, and second is the market. How to get the market? Because initially, if we make a team of 8 people, it is very difficult to give them the salary. So if we have a very limited team of very few members, how to start a new startup?
A very difficult answer, but the easiest answer I will say to this your question is there is only one way: beg, steal, or borrow. Either you have to beg the lenders, you have to steal from where. In older days, they used to steal the dead bodies, you know, cadaver. Okay. So like that, for funds also you have to beg, borrow, steal. But
So not about medical business, I was only asking about any other startup you want to do.
any other startup.
So for startups, if you want to pay for the funds, we have different options. So one is the bootstrap, where we can put in our own money. The second thing is we can always ask the investors about the money. So investors do invest in different kind of funding schemes. So one is seed money, where they invest in your ideation stage, and then they have a VC money, where if you have your prototype ready for the market, and if you are testing the product in the market, then they can give you the equity funds. So these are some of the funding which we have, and the third option is to have a grant. Like, so if you are associated with any academic institutes, so there are plenty of grants which DSC has been floating. AICT have some grants, DBT they have some grants, DST they have some grants. So you can always visit the website, search for a right kind of a scheme, and then there you can get the grants.
Thank you. Any other questions? I'll ask you.
Sir, one more question. Sir, you said you are looking for collaboration with NIT Jalandhar. Can you give us like what are the problems you are looking for, like that can be worked upon?
There are many problems. Like, so there are a number of problems on that. Like if you can see the human body, is human body made up of single material?
So it's a different consistency of the materials. You have to print out different consistencies. We are making nowadays. We are come up with that no model showing the soft tissues also. So vessels are different in color and they are filled with fluid. So many things are there. It's a very complex thing. But of course you can improvise and improvise. Still we are improvising everything. Every workshop comes up with a new goal, which has something additional. So it's an ongoing process, and as you asked, so many avenues, so many problems, and unending. No, not unending. We will find the solutions to everything. Yeah. And of course, there are in market implantable 3D printed materials also. So they can implant. These are not implantable. What we have made. So biostatic materials they use, and But one thing I want to ask is, yes sir, you wanted to ask something? You raise the hand? No, yeah, I want to ask Naren sir. Sir, I am very much thankful because he has attended the full academic session today. And I am very thankful. But बाहर आप बहुत सवाल पूछते हैं, यहाँ कुछ पूछ लीजिए. You go on asking me what is this, what is
Sir, actually I have seen your journey, whole journey. From this scratch and you will.
Yeah, apart from that, you can have it private life. कुछ भी पूछ. So anyway, thanks a lot.
Any other questions?
तो स्टूडेंट्स से पूछना चाहिए था तो अच्छा लगता.
So I
Yes.
think students will
Yes,
stop.
raise the hand. नहीं. Give us 2 minutes.
Mic there. Mic there. Hello.
Morning to all of. Basically, I asked you about the different type of material you can design by the any simulations tools. Basically, I have required the one phantom, rest as well as the brain phantom. This is used for the my field. I have required the ready-made phantom as a phantom as well as rest phantom, which having the skin layer, humor layer, and head layer. All things require the one phantom. Basically, I have designed the pulse generator for the radar, transmitter radar you can use, and I have already antenna, receiver antenna and transmitter antenna. But I have not
You needed a phantom to
phantom,
validate.
random phantom, ready-made phantom.
So
For the medical area, I have asking you can design the phantom, ready-made phantom for the different layer of the tubers with different original dielectric constant of the human body, dielectric constant as well as phantom. Skin as well as fat, bones, and as well as the
I understood your problem. What you're saying is-
ready-made tumors.
So you basically need a model which have a radioactive material in it, so that can be X-ray, that can be ultrasound. We can do the diagnostics. What actually we can't do. So currently we are not developing that material, but that kind of material is under process. Development is under process. So we are now developing models for ultrasonography models like the kidney, the stomach. So we are validating the material for that. So once we validate the material, maybe we can help you out with the solution what we are looking for. So
Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Yes, sir, from this side, sir.
I think we can discuss more questions during the tea break because other speakers are also waiting. Thank you very much to both of you for sharing your inspiring entrepreneurial journey and valuable insights with us. Your experiences, challenges and achievements have truly motivated our students, researchers and participants to think innovatively and pursue their ideas with confidence and determination. So those who have queries, you can discuss after this section in person during the tea break anytime. Both of them are available here. So now after the startup success story, because now people have question about the grants. So our next speaker is related to the grants. Our next speaker is Dr. C.S. Yadav from Department of Science and Technology. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. C.S. Yadav, scientist, DST, Government of India. He is actively involved in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship across country through coordination with numerous institutes and incubation centers. He holds a PhD in data mining from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, along with MTech and BTech degrees in CSA. Prior to joining DST, he served as Scientist B at STQC under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, where he worked in software and electronic systems, testing and certification. His research interests include data mining, machine learning, cyber security, test mining and IoT security. Dr. Yadav has published several research papers, contributed book chapters, filed patents, and delivered expert lectures at reputed institutions on emerging technologies and innovation-related topics. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. C.S. Yadav, and we are looking forward for your talk.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all of you. Thanks to Professor Vinod Kumar Kamodia, Director at MIT Shalunda, Professor Maruna Sushma, and Dr. Neha to provide the opportunity to reflect the young minds and the researchers who are here. So this is my content. First I will tell about my work, what I am doing. DST is a very big organization, undertake different divisions and different projects. Explaining everything with a short time is very critical for me, but I can explain what I am doing and what are the success stories coming from these programs and what are the different new initiatives where you can take the leverages of those and some points related from Niti Aayog report, easy doing science. DST established in 1971 and since then we are promoting, even we are the first one those who have promoted the innovations in academics, in industries, and we have set up a program from the STEM program initiated, and then in 2016 we have launched the Nidhi program, National Initiative Developing and Harnessing Innovation. That is an umbrella scheme which have different sub-schemes there. So one of them is the inclusive TBI, where it targets the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, and Technology Business Innovation Hub also, and Center of Excellence. The targets and objective, vision and mission, all these three are same, but the scale is the different, because in Tier 2 we think that there is huge potential, but the inflow which is coming, which is little smaller compared to the metro cities like in Delhi or Mumbai, and we have a number of researchers there, so we need to create a center of excellence or TBI there. And difference is that in ITBI now we are providing the ignition grant to the startups, which range from 2 lakhs to the 10 lakhs. There are many other opportunities like Nidhi Prayas also, which provides the opportunity up to 20 lakhs also, and seed support program, that is investment based program. It means whenever your startup is one level where you need more investment, then government is doing the first investment there. If you are not finding anyone, or even though you are finding someone, then also government is a partner as an investment. And these are the ITBI where we have established across India, from Srinagar to Gowalpatti and Rajkot to Agartala. These are 48 centers around, and some are expanding much more. So this so that we have geographical span across all the states, not only concentrate in the IITs or in the south, which happens generally, because from the southern states the more proposals comes and they are more vigilant about that. So after all these efforts, we can say that we are now the third largest startup ecosystem, and we have more than 10,000 plus deep tech startups. This is related to whole India data set, not only from the TBI or DST related, but other schemes also. And we are now 38 ranked in Global Innovation Index. at international level, always these kind of indexes matters where we stand. Earlier we was at the 81. Now after so many reforms in this, we are now at 38, and we are trying to improve our position much more through the coming contribution from the industries. And our incubation centers provide the physical workspace and funding, and sometimes some startup and innovator may not require the funding because they are at this level, maybe at the TRL level 3, 4, and they are already in the market, but they need the expertise of the market. You are the technocrat, you know how you can develop the product, what are the validation, you can do that. But whenever it comes to go to the market, then obviously the skills we don't have that. So for that, our incubation centers is providing such kind of facilities. And the incubation centers provide the facility related to the grants based on 3 general model. Rent is the model where you are taking the space there and they are taking some rent from you. But the major model is the equity model. It is like your startup has some shareholders with the incubation. Because under the sky nothing is free, we have to pay something to someone for everything, so when we start the journey of a startup, we start from the idea and then go to the lab for its validation and then go to the market. But the journey is not a very simple. It's a very up and down. So sometimes it happens that we are in the market, but our product fails. Like standard example now is Ola Electric. But after that also they can recover because they have also raised the fund even after the collapse from like 120 to 30, and now that is the price of the share. But now also they have recovered that because that is the journey. So these are the 4 type of opportunities available. We can say these are the opportunity. First one is the grant, where the government is giving the. This is mostly given by the government, the state or the central government. It is grant. It is it is not a free, but you are giving something. You are giving your time. You are giving the equity, and debt. Debt is a loan kind of format where you will repay that. Sometimes whenever you will go to the bank, then they will charge 11% as an interest rate, or even those are much risky projects, then they will charge much more. But the government is giving even the loan at a very low interest rate. It is like 4%. It is much lesser than the inflation. And new kind of model is quasi-equity and hybrid model, where someone is investing in your startup as an equity, and later you can both has an option that you can give them money back with some interest, or they can purchase the shareholding in your startup. And you will require the fund at every stages, and these facilities, grant, debt, equities are available at every stages. So it is based on your negotiation skills, because at initial stage the observation is that startup surrenders most of the equity to the incubation center. So we have come the one standard that up to 3 also there you can take the benefit of these. All these are for market, and obviously it should be acceptable to the society also. VC, they collect the money from different sources and give to you. Whenever you they organize different DST startup utsav, so that and we have organized National Technology Day. It was the National Technology Week. There they have received the higher grant. I will tell you. First, and we have organized as a line ministry circular bioeconomy and sustainable blue economies. The ministerial meeting held in IT. So this such a large event still have the theme that they have. And we have launched some impact report in 2024 where I can also make the product. So these are some center inaugurated by the Honorable Minister Sir. They also have a huge potential impact. Being the tier 3 cities, some program are which start up. And from our ITBI, we have 48 centers. We have organized the technology day. They came with this IoT enabled frame. So now they have Idea Forge is also one of the which is graduated from the Research Development Innovation Fund, which have a purpose of advances in the agriculture. Whenever before 2 weeks, we have ministry has done the signing ceremony with these 5 startups. One of them was presented their idea in the STIC around November 2025. Based on the as the principle we have discussed, they have taken the loan. It is in format of the loan and hybrid instrument. Their administration means if one professor is saying that I have purchased the following thing from this project, so it has to be accepted by the host institute, and no much work is required, because if everyone is involved with silly things, then even though the GEM is also relaxed now up to the CR funding, 2 CR fund procurement may be done from the market, and it is now easy compared to the earlier one. So and I will suggest that we have to increase the project submission with the funding agencies. Sometimes from one institute, one college there, they submit only 1 or 2 projects, 3 projects. But from IIT, if there is a Prime Minister Research Fellowship call, there every professor is applying from, I don't know about, can't comment from the NIT, but from other institute only 1 or 2 are allowed. So why this restriction? So everyone has to be applied for every project. Let it start. So from funding, it gives the first step, initial step. So and now if you want to be the part with our any incubation center, then you can take the part of that. You can join our incubation systems. These 48 centers, whichever I have shown to you, these are available on the website, and all are now open with the incubation activity. Those are the nearer with the Central University Punjab and NIT Srinagar, Sangam University, and DTU. They have launched a call for the incubation. So first you have to incubate there, and later you can your incubation centers and that incubation centers may sign some MOU that you have to work here only, you have to report here, and they will take care. It doesn't mean that you have to go to the Sangam University or even the NIT Srinagar. You can work from here, you can get funding from here. So thank you from my side.
Thank you very much for the thought and your talk. So we are open for questions. Anyone, if you have questions, we can take that.
So, can you tell us what are the current calls of DT, Prayas and DT schemes
Prayas call is open for incubator, and for the startup it's always open through the incubators. They can go to the Niti Prayas website, and then wherever the different centers are there, they do the call, and it listed as on a single platform. For my program, I have not developed such kind of platform. So we are in process of that because we think that those are tier 2 and 3 cities. They have the sufficient flux there, so they are managing from there on.
So where else we can get the information about the current calls which are happening under Nidhi scheme or any other schemes?
For Nidhi Prayas, we have the sign incubator, so you can go there, and Nidhi Prayas is also have a dedicated website, so you can go there. So it is available for, and the funding has been increased from the 10 lakh to the 20 lakhs. We know that 20 lakh nothing will happen, but it is sufficient to give the initial step.
Any other questions from the participants, students, faculty members? Yeah, okay. So if there are no questions, we can thank our speakers for his valuable talk. Thank you. So further you all can interact Dr. C.S. Yadav during the tea break. I request faculty members, students to interact and see what are the possible funding opportunities, how we can apply. Okay. So our next speaker is our next speaker is Mr. Ashutosh Wadhwaji, CEO Rajans International Jalandhar. I request Professor Mamta Khosla to kindly welcome and felicitate our speaker. Please extend a warm welcome to our Wadhwaji. So moving ahead to his talk, I take this opportunity to introduce our speaker. Mr. Ashutosh Wadhwaji is a distinguished entrepreneur, industrialist and global exporter with more than 35 years of experience in manufacturing, international business development, exports and entrepreneurship. He is the CEO of Rajans International, a government-recognized export house exporting hand tools and hardware to over 15 countries worldwide. A national award-winning entrepreneur honored by the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Wadhwa has actively contributed to industrial development, skill enhancement and policy advocacy. He is also widely recognized as a motivational speaker, promoting entrepreneurship and encouraging youth to become job providers rather than job seekers. With extensive experience in global trade, industry leadership and startup mentoring, he continues to play a significant role in strengthening industry innovation and skill development ecosystems in India. So we welcome you, sir, and looking forward for your talk.
गुड मॉर्निंग। आजकल धूप इतनी तीव्र है, आई थिंक हम लोग सब भारतीय हैं एंड वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड ऑल हिंदी, और हिंदी में लेट मी इंटरेक्ट विद हिंदी, क्योंकि कुछ शेर बोलने हो तो हिंदी में ही बोले जाते हैं। वक्ता और बक्ता में बहुत ज़्यादा अंतर नहीं है। मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि मैं वक्ता ना बनूँ, वक्ता ही बनूँ, इसलिए थोड़ा समय लूँगा। Respected ma'am, Mamta ma'am, Dr. Neha Yadav, all the professors sitting here, मेरे कुलीग्स जपेश जी बैठे हैं, सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूट से बैठे हैं, और इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर्स, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट और भी जो गणमान्य लोग यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं। कहते हैं कि अगर आपने किसी देश का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देखना हो तो आपकी रोड्स और बिल्डिंग्स देखते हो, किसी का हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम देखना हो तो वहाँ आप हॉस्पिटल्स देखते हो, क्लिनिक्स देखते हो, डॉक्टर्स देखते हो। परंतु अगर आपने किसी देश का फ्यूचर देखना हो तो आप वहाँ का यूथ देखते हो। तो जिस तरीके से शांतमय तरीके से ये यूथ बैठा है, जो देश के नेता लोग या देश आज 2047 को विश्व गुरु का सपना देख रहा है, मेरे को लगता है कि इस कमिटमेंट के साथ हम लोग जरूर अचीव करेंगे। मैडम ने बहुत ज़्यादा चढ़ा दिया और बहुत ज़्यादा वो इसके बारे में बोला। मैं भी आपकी तरह आपसे बीच में हूँ। द ओनली पॉइंट इज, मेरी क्लास सीनियर है, मैं कुछ वर्ष आगे निकल चुका हूँ वर्ष के परिणाम में और कुछ एक्सपीरियंसेस ले चुका हूँ, परंतु मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि नीचे का सिलेबस बहुत चेंज हो चुका है एंड आई हैव टू लर्न फ्रॉम यू। आई एम अ लर्नर ऑल्सो, क्योंकि उस जमाने में इतना क्लाउड सिस्टम, ऑफ कोर्स वी आर ट्राइंग टू कैच अप, बट उस जमाने में इतनी फैसिलिटीज, पेपरलेस ऑफिसेस, ये सब कुछ नहीं हुआ करता था। ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस। सो आई विल डिस्कस a little about my entrepreneurial journey, इसलिए नहीं कि मैं कोई अपने आप का बखान करना चाहूँगा, इसलिए कि शायद अगर आप उसमें से कुछ, बिकॉज जो वैल्यूज रूल्स हैं जो आज से 1000 वर्ष पहले थे वो वही हैं और 1000 वर्ष बाद भी रहेंगे कि आप बड़ों की रिस्पेक्ट करो, गुरु से सीखो, ऐसा कुछ। सो आई विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट रूल्स, कुछ ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस जिनसे आप शायद कुछ ले सकें, क्योंकि मैं भी आपकी तरह लर्नर हूं, मैं भी आपसे आप सीख रहा था। आई बिलोंग टू अ फैमिली विच इज इन्वॉल्व इन स्टील, और बहुत पुराना स्टील का हमारा एक शॉप है जो आज भी है, जो मेरे पिताजी चलाते हैं, जो अभी भी इस समय भी ऑफिस में बैठे हैं और मेरे से पूरा कंपटीशन करते हैं और मेरे से पूछते हैं, और उनकी एक वर्ड मैं कभी नहीं भूलता। एंड ही वर्क्स not only for 6 days, he's 80 approximately 80. He works 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, no छुट्टी। And what he says is कि अगर आपने काम करना है तो इस तरीके से काम करो कि आपका अंत नहीं है, आपने मरना नहीं है, और नाम का सिमरन जाप करना है क्योंकि वो आध्यात्मिक भी है, तो इस तरीके से करो कि आपका अगला पल नहीं। So I also get inspired a lot from him, because at this age also, we are running a separate company. So we on the table we discuss about business. So he thinks, he plans his business also for another 20 years, and he asks me also कि आपने कितना plan किया. So let me discuss with you few things. वो इसलिए मैं आपसे करना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि एक कहावत है कि वक्त ने बहुत कुछ सिखा दिया, परंतु वक्त ने वक्त पर नहीं सिखाया। सो अगर आप वक्त पे अगर वो सीख लो तो शायद आपका जर्नी बहुत इजी हो जाए और आपकी जर्नी शॉर्टेस्ट हो जाए। इट इज लाइक गूगल मैप्स। हम लोग गूगल मैप्स हैं कि शायद आपको बहुत प्लेन रास्ता ना दिखाए, परंतु अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, हम लोग भी आपकी तरह एक लर्नर्स ही हैं, सीनियर्स हैं, कि शायद क्योंकि रास्तों से निकले हैं कि शायद आपको एक छोटा रास्ता बता दें और आपके पहुंचने के लिए आसान रहे। हमारी फैमिली एक स्टील फैमिली है जो एक पुराने ट्रेडिशनल तरीके से आज भी स्टील बेचती है, स्टॉक रखा है, लोग आते हैं, जपेश जी जानते हैं अच्छे तरीके से, और हम लोग वी सेल स्टील टू लॉट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज। तो आई आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ माई स्टडीज आई डिड माई लॉ, बीकॉम एमएलबी किया, तो उसके बाद मैंने ज्वाइन किया और मेरे को मौका मिला, उससे पहले मेरे को मौका मिला ग्रुप स्टडी एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम के लिए इटली और सिसिली जाने का। वंडरफुल प्रोग्राम था कि जिसमें यहाँ के लोग इटली सिसिली जाया करते थे और वहाँ के लोग यहाँ आया करते थे। तो हम लोगों को अलग अलग जगह पे ले जाया गया और बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है, मैं बहुत डीप में नहीं जाया करता, कि उन सिसिली में हम उस घरों में लोगों के रुके टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ दे फील, कैसे चलते कि जहाँ पे हमें उनको इंग्लिश नहीं आती थी, हमें इटालियन नहीं आती थी, फिर भी हम लोग वी सर्वाइव एंड दैट वाज एन एक्सेलेंट एक्सपीरियंस। एंड देन देयर आई रियलाइज्ड यस कि इतना डिफरेंस है कि वहाँ पे जो लोगों की तनख्वाह या लोगों की सैलरीज या वेजेस वो यहाँ से 20 टाइम्स थी। द ओनली डिफरेंस वाज टेक्नोलॉजी। एट दैट टाइम अब तो टेक्नोलॉजी सब एट पार है, तब तक टेक्नोलॉजी में थोड़ा डिफरेंस हुआ करता था। देन आई रियलाइज यस दिस कैन बी द बिजनेस, बिकॉज कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में अगर आप लोग लेबर इज अ बिग पॉइंट, तो अगर अब हमारी 20 टाइम्स कॉस्ट कम है पर प्रोडक्ट वो हमसे महंगा बेच रहे हैं, हम सस्ता प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हैं, व्हाई नॉट टू अवेल दैट कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन पार्ट। बाकी इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे मोर और लेस मटेरियल सेम है, द ओनली वाज डिफरेंस द टेक्नोलॉजी। तो आई थॉट यस दिस इज द राइट बिजनेस टू एंटर इनटू। तो जब मैं आया तो देन आई पुश्ड माय फादर कि नहीं जी आई हैव टू गो टू एक्सपोर्ट्स as usual fathers, because I think अगर उनकी मेंटालिटी से देखा जाए तो पेरेंट्स भी ठीक है कि वो उस दौर से गुजरे हैं कि जब तक उनके लिए एक डे टू डे रोटी या अलायंसेस भी बहुत मुश्किल रहे हैं, तो वो सेफ्टी नेट पहले देखते हैं बजाय कि इसकी कि हमको एडवेंचर करें। कोई कह रहे हैं कि जो नॉर्मल है, शायद आप लोगों के साथ भी ऐसे किया हो, कुछ लोग आपसे कलाकार बनना चाहते हो, कुछ लोग आपसे को पेंटर बनना चाहता हो, या कुछ लोग कॉमर्स में, नो इंजीनियरिंग इज द राइट पॉइंट एंड आप लोगों को इंजीनियरिंग में जाना है। मेरे को एक कहावत, एक कहानी याद आ रही है कि एक बार एक सर्कस हुआ करती थी, तो सर्कस में किसी को बोला गया कि हमारे पास एक बहुत छोटा कुत्ता है जो पियानो बजा लेता है। तो सर्कस का मैनेजर बहुत अट्रैक्ट हुआ, हाँ आप लाओ उस कुत्ते को, तो ये तो हमारे सर्कस का एक आकर्षण का केंद्र बन जाएगा। तो एक सर्कस का छोटा सा कुत्ता पिल्ला लाया गया, तो वो बहुत सुंदर पियानो बजाने लगा। तो मैनेजर का दिमाग खड़का, उसने बोला अगर ये इतना सुंदर पियानो इस एज में बजा रहा है तो ये तो सर्कस के लिए आकर्षण का केंद्र बन जाएगा। जैसे वो पियानो बजाता है तो देखता है कि बहुत बड़ा एक डॉग उसको पकड़ता है और उठा के ले जाता है। तो भुचक्का रह जाता मैनेजर कि ये कौन? कहता है जी ये इस पिल्ले की माँ है जो उसको डॉक्टर बनाना चाहती है। सो कहने का तात्पर्य ये है कि हमारे जो पेरेंट्स हैं कई बार हम पे प्रेशर डालते हैं कि यस यू हैव टू डू दिस, बिकॉज उस समय वो इंडस्ट्री में चल रहा है और बिकॉज उनकी जो सोच है वो एक सेफ्टी नेट है, वो अपनी तरीके से ठीक भी है, और हमारी एज है एडवेंचर की। सो इसका समावेश कैसे हो ये मैं आपको नेक्स्ट पॉइंट्स में डिस्कस कर रहा था। लेट्स कम टू द पॉइंट, बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा, मैं अगेन आपको याद करें बहुत लंबा नहीं जाऊंगा। तो मैंने ग्रुप स्टडी एक्सचेंज में जाके हम लोगों ने जब वहाँ पे देखा और ये शुरू किया तो मेरे को याद है कि जैसे आई थिंक दिस इज अ वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट, देन आई स्टार्टेड हाउ टू डू, बिकॉज हम लोग यहाँ टूल्स बना करते थे और हम लोगों के साथ कनेक्शन इसलिए टूल्स मैंने सोचे बिकॉज हम लोग स्टील भी टूल्स कंपनीज को दिया करते थे, तो उनकी ठाट बाट भी देखा करते। तो हमने एक जब यंग आदमी एक एज में होता है, यंग आई डोंट से यंग, कि उस एज में ये सोचा करता है कि यार कुछ बिजनेस ऐसा या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप ऐसी हो जिसमें कि थ्रिल एडवेंचर भी। तो उसमें थ्रिल एडवेंचर था कि यू हैव टू ट्रैवल टू मेनी कंट्रीज फॉर योर मार्केटिंग। तो हमने सोचा किया कैसे जाए। देन वी स्टार्टेड, यहाँ पे एक गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है EEPC, इंजीनियरिंग स्पोर्ट प्रमोशन काउंसिल। तो मैं और एक मेरा फ्रेंड जिसको मैंने इनकरेज किया, अरमान बनाया कि तू भी बहुत जगह घुमा करेगा। मेरे को आई स्टिल रिमेंबर वो चारकोल आयरन बनाया करते थे। तो वी वेंट टू EEPC ऑफिस और वहाँ पे डायरेक्टर थे मिस्टर पिंदर करके। तो वो उनके ऊपर पीछे से प्रेशर आया हुआ था कि एक सूडान कंट्री है, तो सूडान में इंडियन डेलीगेशन जाना था जहाँ के लिए पार्टिसिपेंट्स नहीं मिल रहे थे। तो पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए परेशान हो रहे थे कि सूडान जैसी कंट्री जहाँ ऑलरेडी सिविल वॉर लगी हुई थी, उन कंट्रीज में बिकॉज वहाँ ऑयल मिला था तो गवर्नमेंट ने कंपल्सरी किया था कि वहाँ जाना है। तो हम लोग बाहर बैठे, जैसे आज के वो ज़माना, तब वो ज़माना नहीं था कि ऑनलाइन आप हर चीज़ स्टडी कर लेते हो। तो वहाँ हम दोनों वो बैठे हुए थे, तो उन लोगों ने जब बुलाया तो हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया कि जी वी वांट टू स्टार्ट दिस बिजनेस, ये हम लोग टूल्स लाइन में ऐसे हमारा एक्सपर्टीज़ है, हमारा नॉलेज है और हम लोग ऑलरेडी इनडायरेक्टली डील करते हैं, हम टूल्स में जाना चाहते हैं। तो ही डायरेक्टेड कि what I suggest you is, instead of going to those kind of markets, जैसे लोग यूएस जाया करते थे, यूके जाया करते थे, फ्रांस जाया करते थे फॉर मार्केटिंग, why don't you go to a virgin market which is Sudan? So it idea, because you know that time, you're at that age, your mind is adventurous. तो हमारे दिमाग में yes, this is the right place, adventurous, जहाँ पे कोई गया नहीं है, let's go to Sudan, despite knowing कि वहाँ तो civil war है, government ने जाना है, तो we have to be part of that delegation. I remember Rajiv Pratap Rudy तब हुआ करते थे minister. Anyway, तो we said yes. My mother asked like, where are you going? I said, I have to go to Sudan. अगर मैं अपनी mother को बताता, it is in Africa. Then what I did was I framed a map जिसमें मैंने फ्रांस के पास सूडान बनाया, वहाँ अपनी mother को दिखा कि यहाँ हम जा रहे हैं, फ्रांस के पास है. Then my mother was relieved. Yes, he is going to a right place. Anyway, we went to Sudan and Sudan में हम लोगों ने exhibition लगाया तो it was like कि students line लगा के सब आ रहे हैं और line में हम लोग जा रहे हैं, तो हम लोग we were astonished, we were shocked कि ये कैसी exhibition है। तो उन्होंने बोला कि this is the first time of exhibition, तो we are promoting students also to come and see, and we were like heroes. We were clicking they were clicking photographs with us. I said, why you were clicking? They said, you have come from country of Salman Khan. So Salman Khan was very hit there. So we want to have a photograph. I want to have a glimpse of Salman Khan. Anyway, so that exhibition was for 14 days and बहुत desperate रहते थे हम लोग कि हम कहाँ फंस गए, और बहुत सारी problems ऐसे आई कि हम लोग तब ट्रैवलर चेक्स डॉलर्स चला करते थे, डॉलर्स का एम्बार्गो था, डॉलर्स नहीं बिके, हम लोग सारी रात सोते नहीं थे कि अब होटल का बिल कैसे पे होगा कि हम लोग डॉलर्स ले आए हैं. लाइक इट वाज सो इमेच्योर. बट सिल्वर लाइनिंग एक थी डार्क में. वी गॉट वन कस्टमर, ही आस्क्ड फ्रॉम अस, हाउ कम यू आर हियर? वी सेड ऐसे ऐसे हम लोग डेलीगेशन के लिए आए. सेड इट्स रियली गुड, आई एम बाइंग ऑल योर प्रोडक्ट्स, ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स वाया दुबई, because there's no market access, there's no direct access. And you'll be surprised to know that he invited us to a house. We narrated our story. We said, हम लोग के पास तो पेमेंट करने के लिए हमें पैसे भी नहीं है. He said, don't worry. He gave us money also. We paid that money for hotel. He gave us order also. And it's now, I think, more than, we started in 2000. It's more than 26 years that I'm still doing it with that customer and still doing business with that country, despite there is a civil war going on there. So that is the point of success we did. And then, of course, I'll be short. Then what we did was कि यहाँ आए, हमने business शुरू किया. Then एक वो Indian जुगाड़ system, हम लोग hinges बेचा करते थे. तो hinges में there were 30 people involved. So then we started thinking. I'm from a commerce background, not from an engineering background, but I had an idea. I went to a Cologne fair in Germany, and then I discussed with somebody. He told me there is a system. वो हमने वीडियो कहीं उसने तब और YouTube कुछ हुआ नहीं करता था कि ऐसा सिस्टम है कि यहाँ से स्ट्रिप जाएगी, दूसरी तरफ से हिंज बन के बाहर आ जाएगी और you don't have to do anything. And that machine was, I asked in Germany, was in crores, but that idea came into my mind. I said, being entrepreneurial, I pushed somebody who was working in some Italian company from, I picked that from Delhi. वो एक अनपढ़ जो उस helper था. Then we were discussing for 1.5, 2 years. We could get that crores of machinery in just 30 lakh rupees with that जुगाड़. उस जुगाड़ से हमने इतनी costing low कर ली कि उस costing low से we could sell to anywhere in the world. We became 20% cheaper than China. And for that machinery, I got National Award from Prime Minister of India. And that was a small success point. The only problem was कि वो हमारे यहाँ patent laws इतने strict नहीं है. तब तो बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ करते थे. तो then all this machinery was, वो मशीनरी जो थी वो सब जगह सर्कुलेट होगी. जैसे competition हुआ. But for a few years, we really enjoyed that monopoly, and we could sell. And we could sell to those countries जहाँ इंडिया ने आज तक कभी sell नहीं किया था, especially these ages. Now, that was our journey, and that there were other things also. Then we और हम लोगों ने branches में offshoot किया, warehousing, organization, education institutes. Then so the story went this way. So what I mean to say is कि कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है कि बहुत ideal वक्त हो, बहुत ideal situations हो, बहुत आपका ideal peace of mind हो to start entrepreneurial journey. Every time is a good time. I tell you, मेरे को तो लगता है this is the best time to start your entrepreneurial journey. I tell you how. अब आप example दीजिए, अगर आप कोई आसपास जो अपने बुजुर्गों से सुना करते थे, do you find any dedicated carpenter? Do you find any dedicated electrician? Do you find any dedicated driver? Go to any sphere. Do you find any dedicated supplier of any items? जो आपने बाद में कहानी सुनी? No. If you don't find, you're not finding any dedicated people. So there's a lot of scope of dedicated workforce. तो अगर आपके पास कोई skill है, if you are dedicated, there's lots and lots of requirement of dedicated people. तो मेरे को लगता है कि there's a big scope of all dedicated people like you, and you can make wonders. The only point is, all CEOs, all this, all CEOs of Microsoft, Google, Adobe, all Indians. But why don't they do good here? जब वो वहाँ shift हो जाते हैं, and they are employed in some companies and they do wonders. Do you know where is the gap? The gap is entrepreneurship. Those guys are entrepreneurs. They look for a product. Then they assign to countries like us. They are only focusing on R&D. This is where we lack. Normally हम लोगों में imbibed है कि उसकी कमीज मेरी कमीज से सफेद कैसे, हमारी advertisement भी ऐसे चलाएगी. So you have to have that entrepreneurial skill. Yes, this is not happening. I can do it, and I do it big. Let's discuss few points. How can you? I'll talk in general because sir है ये आपको points कैसे startup करने, क्या लेना, कैसे details में statistics में बता देंगे. I'll talk general about journey. I think there are 4 points which you can succeed. One is daring, preparing, caring, and sharing. I'll be short. How come daring? Daring means you have to dare. आज आप इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में बैठे, you have dared. आप लोगों ने इतनी मेहनत करी, आप लोगों ने तैयारी करी, आप लोग dare किए, yes, I can be engineer. You have become an engineer, or you have come here. आप सब लोग हम विचार करने बैठे हैं, हम लोग सब लोग यहाँ से आए हैं, तो you have to dare. You have to think big and then you have to dare. कोई भी examples लीजिए. Narayan Murthy started its own out of 10,000 rupees from garage and built up Infosys. कोई भी example. बहुत बड़े examples लो. Mr. Ratan Tata, he started from float shop and he rose to CEO. कोई भी बहुत बड़ा काम, कोई बहुत बड़े इंफ्रा से शुरू नहीं हुआ. It all started from small scratch. So you have to dare first. That is very important. And dare, yes, I can do this, and I will be doing this. And second is prepare. Prepare means, अब आपको dare तो करना, आपको yes, I have to be entrepreneur, I have to be good industrialist, I have to be CEO of any company. But how you can prepare yourself for its right direction? The way is, you must think, भगवान ने सबको एक निश्चय रखा. आप क्लास में जब कोई एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटीज का सेशन में आप करते होंगे या कुछ, somebody is very good in art, somebody is very good in singing, engineering में भी somebody is very good in coding, somebody is good in animation. So you look for that niche. और वो कैसे देखा जाए? कोई काम करते करते अगर 8-10 घंटे भी आप कर रहे हो, it's not hobby, hobby means 2-3 hours you are, see, you are free for that, no, board, everybody is enjoying music, hobbies are common. Where you are doing for 8-10 hours and still आप थक नहीं रहे, then you are again thinking, yes, it's moving, yes, I have to do it again. That is your passion, that is your niche, and if you do out of that niche, I think chances of success are more. Then you have to look कि क्या जो आप करने जा रहे हो, niche आपने पकड़ा है, is market ready for that? It's not that कि आप niche है तो you are going to the market and market accepts you. अगर आप रेगिस्तान में बैठे हुए छाता बेचोगे तो वो आपका छाता नहीं बिकेगा। यहाँ इस मौसम में आप कंबल लगा के बैठ जाओगे, वो नहीं होगा। You have to see the market size, you have the future of that product. Then prepare with data. You all engineers, prepare with data, and you can take help. क्या data है? Which items in which, for example, you have put in art and craft. Silver jewelry is nearly a big catch, जो other countries are looking at. So you have to look for what is the future and what people are looking at. So that second point is preparedness. And third is caring. Caring means nothing comes free in this world. कुछ भी free नहीं. You have to work hard. ऐसा होना चाहिए कि दिन रात every time that is moving in your mind. Normally हम लोगों की इंसानी ये फितरत है, एक स्वभाव है कि we always look for shorter routes. There's no short route, मेरे को एक स्टोरी याद आ रही है आप लोगों को, वो भाई की भी स्टोरी। आई थिंक वी ऑल यंग स्टूडेंट्स एंड वो बैठे हैं, कहते हैं कि एक दुकान गर्लफ्रेंड्स और पत्नी बेचा करती थी। सो ऐसी दुकान इंटरेस्टिंग कोई छोड़ेगा नहीं जाने के लिए। यस, यहाँ गर्लफ्रेंड्स गुड गर्लफ्रेंड और पत्नियाँ मिलती हैं। तो वो आदमी वहाँ स्टूडेंट कह लीजिए कि वो वहाँ पे जाता है उस दुकान पे 2 दरवाजे लगे होते हैं। एक दरवाजे पे लिखा होता है सुंदर कन्या, एक लिखा होता है जो सुंदर नहीं है। ऑफ कोर्स आदमी सुंदर को चुनता है, वो सुंदर कन्या के साथ वो उस गेट के अंदर चला जाता है। देन लिखा होता है गाने वाली कन्या, ना गाने वाली कन्या। आदमी गाने वाली कन्या में चला जाता है। उसके बाद लिखा होता है सुशील कन्या, जो सुशील नहीं है वो तो आदमी 3rd दरवाजे पे चला जाता है, उस दरवाजे पे फिर घुस के फिर आगे एक दरवाजा आता है, तो 4थे दरवाजे पे जाके अपना शीशा लगाता है। तो जब शीशे में देखता आपकी शक्ल नजर आती है तो शीशा बोलता है इतनी मेहनत करने की बजाय अगर आपने आप पे मेहनत की होती तो शायद जो आप सोचते हो आपके पीछे होता। सो कहने का मतलब ये है कि देयर इज नथिंग फ्री इन दिस वर्ल्ड, यू हैव टू केयर, यू हैव टू डू हार्ड वर्क। एंड द लास्ट पॉइंट, मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत मैं लंबा जा रहा हूँ, लास्ट पॉइंट इज शेयरिंग। हमारी यहाँ संस्कृति में 3 तरह के ऋण हैं, पितृ ऋण, गुरु ऋण, ऋषि। अब पितृ ऋण क्या है? पितृ ऋण वो है कि अगर जो आपने अपने बुजुर्गों से लिया है, जो भी एसेट लिया है, कुछ भी लिया है, आपका घर है, वो आप यहाँ पर छोड़ के जाएंगे उसको बढ़ाकर। मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो आया है तो मैंने खर्च जाना है, मैंने अगली जनरेशन के लिए मेरा ऋण है कि जो मैंने पिता से लिया है वो मैं अगली जनरेशन के लिए, अगले समाज के लिए छोड़ के जाऊँ। अब ऋषि ऋण ये है कि जिस समाज में आप रहते हो, हम यहाँ बैठे हैं, डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, पीसफुली बैठे हैं, ये समाज की कृपा है। एक समाज पीसफुल है, टैक्स पे करता है, जिससे हम लोग ये बिल्डिंग्स बनती हैं, या एक व्यवस्था है जिसमें हम लोग चल रहे हैं और हम लोग शांत में। थिंक ऑफ अफगानिस्तान, थिंक ऑफ सीरिया, थिंक ऑफ ईरान नाउ, जहाँ सारा समाज बिखरा पड़ा है। क्या उस समाज में आप एक इस समय में कोई बहुत बड़ी कंपनी खोलने की जहाँ पीस ही है सोच सकते हो? नहीं सोच सकते। आप क्या वहाँ पे अलग अलग जगह पे टूरिंग कर सकते हो कि मैं जाके यहाँ पे ये खड़ा करूँगा, मैं वो करूँगा? नहीं सोच सकते। तो तब तो आप पीस की सोचते हो। सो आपके लिए समाज का भी ऋण है कि समाज से जो आपने प्राप्त किया है वो आप करें। तभी तो आजकल आपने देखा होगा कंपनीज को CSR के लिए प्रमोट किया जाता है कि यस, यू हैव टेकन फ्रॉम दिस सोसाइटी एंड इट इज योर ड्यूटी टू गिव इट बैक। मैं भी आज आपके सामने खड़ा हूँ, उसी ऋण को उतारने के लिए खड़ा हूँ, कोई मेरा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। देन थर्ड है गुरु ऋण। गुरु ऋण मीन्स जो हमने सीखा अपने गुरुओं से, अपने आसपास के लोगों से। मैंने पिता से भी अपने सीखा, ये उन्होंने वर्ड्स थे, मैंने अपने गुरुओं से सीखा, मैंने अपने फ्रेंड्स से सीखा। जो मैंने सीखा, जो मेरे काम आया लाइफ में, मैं अगली जनरेशन को पास ऑन करके जो हम लोगों का बहुत बड़ा एक समृद्ध हमारा समाज था, ये कमी हम लोग में रह गई। क्यों कुछ लोग आए इतने बड़े समृद्ध समाज को क्यों लूट के लगे? क्योंकि और हमारी वो जो साइंस टेक्नोलॉजीज को हम अब इतने सालों बाद उबारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उसको क्यों नहीं हमने? बिकॉज वी डिडंट डॉक्यूमेंट इट, वी डिडंट पास ऑन टू आवर जनरेशंस, एंड आवर जनरेशन डिडंट एक्सेप्ट। ऑफ कोर्स व्हेन इट इज कमिंग वाया अमेरिका और हमारा थ्रू यूरोप, द योग इज गुड, दिस makhana is a superfood, then we are accepting it. So we have to accept. Of course, I don't say we are the best, but what are the good points out of experience? You must accept. So, कहने का भाव है कि the last point is of course sharing here I'll sum up. ये अगर 4 points अगर आप याद रखेंगे, daring, preparing, caring and sharing, तो एक basic fundas of life है। मेरे को लगता है कोई भी ताकत आपको प्रगति करने से रोक नहीं सकती। आपकी प्रगति होगी, समाज की प्रगति होगी, इस स्टेट की प्रगति होगी, स्टेट की होगी, इस देश की होगी। तो मेरे को नहीं लगता कि 2047 में हम विजन कर रहे हैं कि वी विल बी द डेवलप्ड कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड और हमें विश्व गुरु बनने से कोई रोकेगा। हाँ जी, हो गई है पीर पर्वत सी, अब पिघलनी चाहिए, इस हिमालय से अब गंगा निकलनी चाहिए, मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने सही, प्रगति की आग जलनी चाहिए, जलनी चाहिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your inspiring entrepreneurial journey and valuable experiences with us. Your insights on innovation, perseverance and leadership have truly motivated and encouraged our students and participants to think beyond boundaries and pursue entrepreneurship with confidence. Thank you very much, sir. If anybody have questions and you want to discuss with Mr. Wadhwaji, you can discuss during the tea break or now also. Anybody wants to ask or discuss?
I would be happy if you want to have guidance. Of course, but I'm like you. Rather, I have to learn.
Yeah, you can interact. Yeah, there is one question from last. You want to ask? Okay.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning, sir. My name is Vikash and I'm a PhD scholar from Biotechnology Department. So, from what I could gather from your talk, that you're talking about the macro trends of the country, that 2047 we'll be reaching Viksit Bharat. But from my side, maybe I'm a bit pessimistic, but I'm seeing the micro trends, and as you yourself are an industry expert, and you yourself have been leading an industry, the micro trends seem to be pointing towards a bit of pessimism. So why do you think there is such cause for optimism in the country?
Hello. See, it's a normal, of course, I agree to your point. The environment is really pessimistic here. Even not for our country, for all over the world. But if somebody is failing, और कुछ अगर माहौल सारे घर में गमगीन है या सिचुएशन ऐसी है, wars are going on, inflation is up, आर्थिक मंदी आ रही है, can we discuss all the time pessimism? Why don't you have? Of course, I know the person or the student who is securing say only 40% marks, and I'm asking him to top the class. you cannot say it. Like, of course, you have to make a positive environment. You have to see the positive things. See, it is always there. I remember, हम लोग जब इंटरनेशनल फेयर्स में जाया करते थे, एक पेसिमिज्म शुरू से हमारे में इम्बाइब्ड है. हम लोग कोई, if you remember here also, कोई अगर दूसरी कंट्री से कोई एक फॉरेनर आता है, एक फोटोग्राफ, we feel he is out of the world. And you remember, and now what we do, what we see once we are exhibiting in foreign countries, in other fairs, in Chicago Fair, people come, they say, we are buying at you. We are the fastest growing companies in the world. Because उनके वहाँ हमारे से भी ज़्यादा pessimism है. You see, if I think you're a well-read person, if you see the inflation, the way people, the economies are going minus, but still वो लोग environment pessimism का नहीं रखते. हमारे लोगों को you remember कोई भी नारा लगाया जाता था, जिंदाबाद, ये, what is this? This is to encourage yourself. So that at least देखो ये भी time pass होना चाहिए. But to pass this time in encouraged mood, in a positive note, अगर आप पहले negative कर जाएंगे कि मेरे को कुछ होगा ही नहीं, तो मैं तो side पे जाके बैठ जाऊँगा. At least once you make that environment, I also know, I also understand that if I go for data, it is not possible, it is not easily possible, you know. But you have to have that environment, positive note. Yes, yes, let's give a try. अगर आप positive note रखेंगे, तो आप 80% पे नहीं जाएंगे, at least 50-60% पे जाएंगे. पर अगर हम pessimism हो जाएंगे, ये हो ही नहीं सकता. So why would I try? Because once you think कि ये हो ही नहीं सकता, तो I'm 100% sure I'm fail. But if I'm not trying, but at least out of encouraging and trying, there is a 50% chance or 40% chance I may succeed. This is the problem.
Thank you, sir. Any other? Okay, so if there are no questions, we can thank our speaker and close this session. We will now break for high tea and we'll join back at the same venue for our panel discussion after 15 minutes. So thank you everyone, and please join for the high tea arranged outside this venue. Thank you.
Ecosystem for Viksit Bharat, where India aims for carbon neutrality by 2070. To achieve this, carbon neutrality by 2070. To achieve this, we must align across the three pillars, that is people, planet and profit. People for skill, competency and behavior, planet for sustainability and environment responsibility, profit for efficiency, innovation and competitiveness. What makes this panel unique is that we represent the key stakeholders of the value chain. Mr. Rajesh Sabharwalji from MSME Manufacturer, Mr. Satish Chandraji from OEM, Mr. T.K. Vermaji for Tooling and Steel Development Institute, and Mr. Dr. O.P. Vermaji from academia. Welcome all for the panel discussion. So today, instead of isolated opinion, let us build a connected narrative. So for first people segment, Sabharwalji as an MSME supplying critical component, your strength lies in execution. From a people perspective, what your strength in workforce capability and what are the biggest challenges in skill, behavior and adaptability?
Thank you, Rajnikantji, and thank you, NIT Jalandhar, for giving us this opportunity to be here as a panelist on the topic Mr. Rajnikant described. See, as Mr. Rajnikant said, that this needs to be a collaborative effort between industry and academia. on various topics, whether it's about technology, innovation, and he just mentioned that this is about also the skill deficit that we per se see in the industry. Well, the academia is doing extremely good job of producing so many engineering students, whether they get into a blue collar job or they get into a kind of white collar job. When I say blue collar means pure brick type of industries, and when I say white collar, it is about IT, where the environment is absolutely different from what an industrial setup is. So when we talk about the skill development, the students which get groomed at institutes are adopted by, somehow taken into the industry through either employment or through the internship program. The set that comes to us comes with the academic knowledge, but there's little less practical knowledge. So it becomes inherent for the industry to devise their training programs which is very well suited to their day-to-day working or their aspirations of having an engineer or a workforce that is very well mapped to their industrial requirements. So in doing this, industry is taking steps of setting up internal training centers. Many industries have very good training centers. Some go in for on-the-job kind of a training, and when we are having on-the-job training, it is more practical. Like you learn about the equipment, you learn about the processes on the go. So in this field, I believe that the academia can also take inputs from industry and incorporate the industrial training into their curriculums, or send across their students for internship. Like we have a couple of engineers now going into our into our industry, which are there as interns. Although many had applied, about 70 people had applied, but incidentally few have joined it. But I believe that that's the first stepping stone for other students to follow. So we look forward that we will see how this initiative that Rhino industry had designed for our industry basically, and the other industries which are close by. So we are looking forward to it. And seeing it that the engineering students which are coming into industry are given proper training, are given exposure, so that they become industry ready basically when they pass on.
Okay. So you mentioned there is a skill gap, and for the corporate there is a dedicated training center is there, but for MSME are still lacking for that.
Absolutely.
So now my question is to P.K. Vermaji. Vermaji, institute like CIT play a critical role in bridging this gap. From your perspective, are we producing industry-ready manpower today, and how can training institute align better with MSME?
Thank you very much for asking such a wonderful question. With due respect to all the engineering institutes and polytechnic institutes, I must mention that these institutes are working on bare minimum requirements of the sanctioning authorities. But the industries are not working, and they can't work with bare minimum requirements. They need to get the best of the machinery in-house because they need to make the quality products. You can see that the industry are using CNC, VMC machines for making the products, but in engineering and polytechnic institutes, you will see the machines, conventional type of machines are available: lathe machine, milling machine, pantograph. They do not have the proper infrastructure that are being used in the industry. industries are using different kinds of softwares for designing also. They are using CATIA, WorkNC, ANSYS, SolidWorks for designing. But in the engineering or polytechnic institutes, they are using the same kind of methodology. Even nowadays I have seen that they are being shifted from drafted sheet drawings to AutoCAD. Right? So the training institute like us, we are training institute of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. Total we have 18 institutes throughout India. And our role becomes very prominent that for filling the gap between industry trained industry manpower as well as the students who have passed out from various technical institutes. We know what the industry needs, and we also know what the curriculum of the B.Tech or the diploma institutes being taught. So we are there to bridge the gap. I have seen that usually students of B.Tech has to undergo around 42 subjects. But the industry who is working in foundry section, they need the person who is having the competence in foundry only. The industry who is working in the forging, they needs the person having the competence in forging section. So, like institutes of us, when the students visits the industry, he feels the gap that what I have studied and what the industry needs, then they come to us. Then they come to us for learning. You must have seen that nowadays the softwares are very costly. The SolidWorks software, if I want to get a bundle of 25 sheets, I need to spend around 25 lakhs. Industry needs it. But somehow it is not mandatory by the sanctioning authority. Industry needs the manpower who knows how to operate the machine. They needs the manpower who actually knows how to make the program to run the CNC machines. The industry are using CMM machines for measurements. But how many institutes you have seen that they are using CMM machine for training their students? So there is a gap of infrastructure as well. For bridging the gap, we do have the infrastructure in our institutes from forging section, from heat treatment, from designing. Everything is under one roof, and definitely training institutes are very prominent to provide the skilled manpower. Moreover, training institutes can get the sanctions from Government of India as well as skill ministries such as Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, PMKVY, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, DDU-GKY, Pradhan Mantri Employment Creation Programs. You will not see such kind of programs being organized in technical or diploma institutes. These are basically focuses on the skill development of the youth. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you for your insight. So there is a gap and there is a rapid change in industry where we require to update that skill also. That's for industry requirement. Now my question to Japinji is from OEM side. How do this workforce gap at supply level affect your operation? And what expectation do you have from your suppliers in terms of skill and behavior?
Thank you for this question. I would rather want to break up this question into two parts. One is the machine suppliers. We are buying machine from outside, maybe from Germany, Italy, in India. And then there is another part, the products which we are using as a consumable in the casting industry. My answer would be focused on the casting process because I'm representing casting process. So our expectation is very clear from the supplier and the institution from where those their engineers are coming to attend the problem if we have any troubleshooting. So those engineers should be capable of doing those troubleshooting at their own. They should be available at our requirement. Sometimes what happens when we have a problem in the industry, those particular competent persons are not available in the supplier system. Those suppliers who has assured us that our machine, our services are perfectly good for you and it is uninterrupted, they somehow back out from the promises. There is a issue with the behavior and the mindset. If I take example of installing a huge processing units like casting where we have n number of machines and 2,000, 3,000 sensors, they are all connected to a CPU and then there is a PLC programming. Now if there is one sensor out of that 2,000 is not performing, then the whole industry comes to a standstill. And the expertise to figure out that problem, because Mr. Sabharwal ji would be well aware of that. When we have a furnace filled with liquid metal and all of a sudden there is a problem, and if it is not being attended in, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes, it means we are draining our treasury, we are draining our money very fast. So this is very important aspect, that the competency related to the process, related to the equipment should be installed in the institutions. Yesterday, co-panelist was rightly said that we have to have the students with one major domain where he is a master, and he should have the knowledge of all other connected domains. Like electrical engineers must have knowledge of mechanical engineer must have knowledge of electrical, electronics. So small basic knowledge is very important. In that respect, I just want to compare our mindset workforce and the mindset of workforce which is coming to attend the problems from foreign countries. We have recently installed a Conclave line, and the German engineers, they are coming for the installation, erection and commissioning. They are sharp reporting at 9 o'clock at their workplace. But in our culture, the engineers, the managers, they have a leverage of 5 to 10 minutes and they are using that leverage. They are coming 9:05, 9:08, 9:10. So that mindset change is very, very important. We have to be more ethical manpower. That is our requirement. The industry wants from the supplier the more ethical manpower who is dedicatedly ensuring seamless, continuous process at customer end. Now, I'll take this into a second perspective. The person or the engineer, the workforce which is coming from supplier and going to work in the industry, they should be aware of the new norms of safety, they should be aware of new norms of pollution, they should be morally and ethically bound to use limited resources. If they are coming from third concern and they are coming for installation in the industry, they should be aware of that the resources are limited and they have to use and produce and deliver their targets within that limited time. So there should be awareness of all the later stakeholders so that they should not get injured, they should not run the project over cost. So all these factors are linked with that. Second parts come from the consumer side. Now, when we are running the industry, we are using consumable materials, we are using raw materials. Those raw materials are also coming at a cost. And when we are processing those raw materials, we might find that these raw materials are not up to the mark. There are some quality related issues, there are some issues related to the quantity. So we have to address both the issues. So when such issues crop up in the industry, the whole supply chain disrupt. When your OEM is not delivering up to the requirement, it means the supply chain is not performing to their expectation. So in that regard, I believe the workforce, the engineers, the stakeholders involved in that should have that moral values that the target is a target, the date is a date. We should not keep on saying no. This is जैसे हम पंजाबी में बोलते हैं चलता है. Micron is a micron. We might be teaching the student. You must be aware of that. What is the value of 1 micron? What is the value of 2 microns? So that's the same way we should understand the value of 1 second, minute, hours, a day. You must honor the date when you have committed that this is our target date. That target date should be honored. You have to sacrifice your comfort zone. You have to come out with innovation. You have to risk your timelines to meet the final target date. You have to organize, you have to coordinate with the person whom you do not want to talk even, because your project is at stake. So this happens, and this you have to learn here in this institution. Lot of scopes are there in the institution to learn all these things, which is very much essential in the industry when we are talking about the supply chain.
Thank you. So it is clear that expectations are rising across the value chain. Now over to Dr. Bhakti Vermaji. How can academia bridge the gap between theoretical learning and industrial expectation? And how do we build not just engineers but industry-ready professionals?
Actually, Dr. P.K. Vermaji said, Sawaji said, actually the academia has, P.K. Vermaji said, the forging in the industry, the people's life, need the forging mastery. And the casting, the casting. So it's like a syllabus we have to design. And sir said, the basic subject of the electrical, mechanical, and all things you need to teach. So now, it is a contradiction between the two persons. Yes or no? In industry. So our target is to cover all the, the basic subjects and the advanced subject depends on the type, specialize on the branch of that particular subject. So one thing is that. Another thing is in order to development of the skill, we have to focus on the internship program only. The solution is only the internship program. Industrial problem.
True.
Industrial problem, we have to take to solve the problem from the industry and distribute among the students and working on that on the problem for the such a solution. And second thing is in any of the academia, we have to visit the industry on the regular way. Not only the students. My recommendation is to visit the industry also for the faculty and all the stakeholders, because we have to understand the problem of the industry, and also again the industry also understands the problem of your academia. That's from my comment.
And now we move to the planet sustainability and carbon neutrality side. My question is to Japiji. OEMs today are driving sustainability initiatives what step is your organization taking toward carbon reduction, and how do these expectations flow down to the supplier?
Yes, as we are driving this carbon reduction scheme, so the main point is, this is not the only OEMs who is producing or whose carbon footprint is at the higher side. It is the complete supply chain which is engaged in the system. They are also equally, or even I believe more, contributing toward the carbon footprints. We have channelized this opportunity, and we are trying to reduce the consumption of energy at every place, everywhere where we can use the gravity. We are installing gravity conveyor instead of overhead conveyor. We were using in the industry, there is a trend that they are using tractor and trolleys to move their casting, because the castings are heavy part. It is around 150 kg, and we are producing around 3,000 plus tons of casting in a month. So daily we are about to transit around 160 ton or 180 ton of casting inside the plants. So the system, because when we are using a diesel driven tractors, it is adding to the carbon footprints. So wherever possible, we are using more efficient equipments, more efficient techniques to minimize the material movement. In this context, I would like to add that when tractor and trolley is carrying a casting of, let's say, 3 to 4 ton in a trip, and we are investing in a casting pulling conveyor which is taking continuously casting from one point to the next point. So that carbon footprints we have saving for the next generation. But same we are expecting from the supply chain. The person, the stakeholder who is supplying us sand, who is supplying us coal, who is supplying us minerals, who is supplying us scrap, who is supplying us tools, who is supplying us casting, other raw materials, diesel, petrol. There should be a sustainable model for that. We were working on diesel furnaces, where we were using the diesel, and the trucks were coming and pouring the diesel in the tanks. We are converting those furnaces on the gases, the PNG gases. We have already started, we have tried, and we have done it. So drastically the carbon footprint are going down. But the point is, our institutions also look into that. Those streams are completely available, those streams are working, and those streams are required in the near future. We can think of other equipments or other processes, like if we have to casting, we definitely need core in the casting to make the cavities. I don't know if you are aware of this process, but yes, that is required. And to make the core, we are using amine gas, which is not good for the environment, but unfortunately we have to go through the same process years together. Can't any institute take initiative to derive or to research that if the core can be made without using amine gas? There are research available, there are initiatives available outside India, where people have made such efforts to make core without using amine. They are using different type of hardener and resins. So we can, our industry, our institute can join hand to go into that streams. That will reduce our carbon footprints further. The scope is huge. I will tell you one story that when we was trying, or we are finalizing this casting unit equipments, I was more enthusiastic and was leaning toward the lost form casting process. I was the first who introduced that casting process in Sonalika tractors. And we studied it for 1 year, made all the contacts, all DPR, everything from where we are going to drive the funds, everything we have done. But because of manpower, the skill availability, we dropped that project. That was the basic point where we are completely, we were not favoring this project because of the skill manpower. This is over the period of, I will say, 6 years. Now the small startups are coming up. People are manufacturing cylinder blocks. They are manufacturing differential housing, the part used in the engine, with the same process. And this process, if you say this is very efficient process, you can save a 10 kg, or I would rather say 5 to 7% of the weight of the original casting which we are producing through a traditional model, which is greenfield projects, greenfield casting manufacturing. Because the process is like that, you have to give drafts. Let's say you can reduce the draft from 5 degree to 3 degree, but you cannot bring it to 0.5 degree, 1 degree. Otherwise you won't be able to make the mold, you won't be able to make the casting. So those techniques are available. We need institutes to drive those techniques of those streams, generate manpower, and that would be going to make a wonder. Because if you see a casting, when we are giving a 5 to 10% margin on the faces, when we are machining, giving the machining parts, and with that technique we can make a casting up to the dimension with a margin of 1 to 1.5 mm. You see the intangible benefit behind that. You are saving your transportation cost, you are saving your carbon footprints, you are saving your tooling, you are saving your machine life, you are increasing the efficiency, you are increasing the space, you are reducing the wastage, you are reducing the energy used to process that wastage. So this sort of techniques, this sort of processes are available. The only thing is the initiative from the institution. If you are able to generate, or if you are able to produce those workforce who can dedicatedly work on that. And one more thing, for casting industry is called as a dark industry and heat expensive industry. Nobody want to, even engineers don't want to go into that industry, because we have given them a hype that yes, you are not from this planet, you are from somebody else, आप तो बाहर ही जाओगे सारे. But ground reality is that we have made effort to make the casting industry very attractive. We have installed fume extraction systems, which is not adding value to the product. It is the cost to the product, but still, for the well-being of the operator, for the well-being of the workforce, those dust extraction systems, fume extraction systems, they are making the environment conducive for the workforce. So that industry is putting efforts, but with all these inputs available in the market, still manforce is not ready to work in those places. When we are hiring one engineer, we are parallelly hiring one technician as well. We have to arrange one helper as well, because that engineer do not want to make his hand dirty. So this is the reality of the industry, and this is the reality. We need to come out of this scenario. We need to find out more innovative ideas where we can reduce carbon footprints. Further to add, fettling process, I believe this is the pain of casting industry. Everywhere you go, you are able to produce casting in tons. You won't be able to fettle it. You need machinery, you need automation. This is purely laborious job, and that labor is also working in a very hard scenarios. Options are available, those machines are available, but that is not cost efficient. Your team can come, can see and collaborate to develop those machinery, develop those techniques which can help the industry, which can reduce the cost on the product. If the cost on the product is going down, definitely that is coming back to the industry for the improvement, for the benefits. But ultimately, in micro, small, medium enterprises, they are running daily to manage the show. They are not able to put any small efforts for the R&D, for the innovation. Everywhere the disruptions are there. So once we are through with that, then only we can think of to improve the scenarios.
Okay. So you mentioned that sustainability is now becoming MSME requirement also. So my question is to Sabharwalji that what are the real challenges MSME has in adopting sustainable practices, and is it cost awareness or technology availability?
I think it is both. To sustain any process that will help our environment will cost a lot of money. Because byproduct of any process, whether it is foundries, forging, or whether it is a metal cutting process or a chemical industry, you would produce some elements which will tend to deplete your environment. To control those, there are damage control equipments which can help, but then it not adds anything to the bottom line. It just adds to the product cost, and sometimes it is just becoming unviable for even passing the cost to the customer. So sustainability is a challenge, but only thing is intent is as any industry or any individual would do it, is to protect our environment. As the speaker has said that while you are able to produce the castings and tonnage and lot of tonnage, but fettling is an issue because it's a very hard process. Well, very recently, like any industry that is in foundry is going in for automation and taking on grinding machines which are basically driven through the CNC technology to those grinders, the gates and the parting line and all that. We too are doing it. In fact, about 3 weeks back, I went to China to look at those machines, and we are importing those machines for our company. And these would be available here. The only thing is, it will reduce the human effort that is going into it. In fact, we are looking at some new methods if we can reduce the human effort. Well, the CNC grinding machines are the solutions, but can we use exoskeleton? Like, which people have seen it. I'm sure some of you will know what is the exoskeleton. It's a external skeleton which supports the human body. So it's being developed for the defense application. So we talked to an inventor, and we are looking at if we can develop some exoskeleton to take care of our fettling job that can help our people in reducing the effort. So these kind of initiatives we need to know. We went for some other purpose, and eventually in our mind was that we are at pain. We are at pain with this kind of a technology that we are using, those sling grinders or the belt grinders or whatever it is. We need to improve on and reduce the human efforts going into it. But to do that, it will obviously cost some money. And sustainability becomes an issue, and it becomes paramount for any industry, industrial management, to put it in their balance sheet, what are they doing it for? Whether it is costing money or it is, are we deleting the environment on that? So, it's a double sword, like, a double-edged sword basically. So, you need to protect your environment because we are in a harsh kind of industry of foundry and forging. But we also need to do a lot of efforts, like Rhino machines is into sand reclamation, right? So we are looking at putting up a project to reclaim the sand. I think Mr. Rajnikant can tell you whether that sand can be reused in the foundry one more time after proper washing and all that. You remove those bentonite and the chemicals that go into it. So we are looking aggressively to that also. So kind of a cluster has been formed to take care of that and set up an industrial unit for that. And I'm pretty much sure that will see the day of the light very soon. So why I'm saying is sustainability is important is when you come to a workplace. Obviously, you would like to be at a place where you have to spend about 8 to 10 hours and still do that activity, but be happy also. So, if we are living in a harsh industry of a chemical type or foundry type, we need to invest and we need to sustain those processes. It is like, I don't think so there's any other chance for any industry now. And with the zero discharge policy that is being promoted by the government, so you can't even discharge chemicals, you can't discharge your water also without treating it. So is the condition with the foundry that you can't throw your sand right into the open fields. So you need to handle it properly. And to do that, all the industries need to come together and put up a good show on that. And institutes can obviously, make. I don't know. I did my engineering about 40 years back, so I don't know that this environment subject is being taught in engineering colleges. So Dharma can tell. I'm pretty much sure it would be a part of curricular activities now. So it need to be taken care of. Environment need to be protected at any cost. That's my take. Thank you.
So you mentioned that for the foundry, some of the process where very critical labor is required, and for that you are importing the machine from the outside. And so my question is to Mr. D.K. Vermaji. So how can institute like CIT support MSME in adopting greener technology, and can tooling and process improvement contribute to sustainability?
First of all, I would like to answer Shri Sabharwal's question. Sir, environmental studies is a subject that is being taught in all the diploma and polytechnic BTech institutes nowadays, and it is mandatory. It is mandatory, sir.
We were not that lucky.
It is mandatory subject, sir. Everybody has to go through this subject, having two graduates in all the universities and institutes, and it is mandatory for all the students. This is under the guidance of Supreme Court, sir. And now, regarding the Rajnikant's question, yesterday Kira sir was talking about the energy and the electricity, the fields in which he was working. He also showed a roadmap that what he needs to be taught to the students when they join the industry. Yeah, in his presentation, if everybody is aware and sitting who are sitting here yesterday, Mr. Kera has shown a presentation that mentioned that the students must be aware about the ISO 14001, having the knowledge of environmental studies, having the knowledge of OSAS, and having the knowledge of ISO 9000 and 14001. So these are the related to the environments. And if I talk about the institute, what we can do, there are three things while in the manufacturing industry. One is man, machinery, and material. If we can reduce the scrap, the wastages while producing a product, it means we are reducing the carbon footprints by less using the machinery, less using electricity. If we make around 10% defective parts, it means that we are wasting 80% of our resources. And if we make 90%, 99% or 97% around good products, it means we are improving our productivity by 8%. So my answer is we can utilize our machinery, the materials in a better manner, so that we can not make defective. Actually, we do not make the defective parts, and we are not intended to do so.
Defective part is a byproduct of a good process or bad process.
Right, sir. So, while quality assurance, quality inspection, segregation are the steps that we use, and we get the defective parts. Right, this is not made by the intention. Moreover, if related to training, if the operator knows how to maintain his machinery properly, then we can reduce the heat generated by the electric motor, by less using the machinery. We have must taught the operator in ISO also that one should maintain the machinery properly by using the 4 steps method. Every industry using the same methodology. One is cleaning, another is lubrication, and then inspection and tightening. These are
Geology.
Right, so these are the very basic and mandatory procedure for maintaining the one's machinery. Within 10 minutes, the operator can maintain his machinery and can utilize the same machinery for 8 hours. While cleaning, you must have seen the boys, they are maintaining their bikes and their cars properly. If you maintain the machinery, you don't want to get it under breakdown. Second thing is lubrication. When you are lubricating the parts properly, it means less friction is there, less heat generation is there. And the third is inspection. You should use all your body senses for the inspection purpose, like your eyes, your ears for hearing some abnormal noises, and then some touch sensors where there is some abnormality that you can check in the machinery, and tightening. That's it. If any operator knows how to use these tribology methods, then there are less chances of heat generation, and it means making less carbon footprints. One is I have told you the wastage, the defective part production. Second is the tribology, and I must tell you that we need to train the manpower by using different kinds of softwares also. If I need to hit a head of the nail, I can utilize a stone. I can hit the head of the nail by a hammer. Now the question is, the hammer may be a goldsmith's hammer may be a blacksmith's hammer. The right tool, right technology, right methodology can be provided by the training. The training process now involves a training institute or the procedure we can adopt. So the right job can be done by the by the right tools. Not talking about the machine tools. Everything we use to get the work done are the tools. Whether you are working on a software, you are using a computer, your mouse, the printers, these are all the tools that helps to get the work done. So when Jupesh ji rightly said that there are some problems that are being addressed by using different softwares, as he has told that in casting industry you are making the size within millimeters, 1 and 1.5 millimeter.
Exactly.
It is a great achievement. If you know about the casting processes, it is a great achievement. It means that less materials are being used, and for making the finished product you are removing less material by cutting process or by grinding process. If you have seen the grinding process, you know the metal is being removed and in the form of dust, and that is being
very harmful for the person who is carrying out that activity.
Right, and the same thing can be replicated by using the robots, cobots, right? So we can reduce the human interference in such dangerous processes. Thank you very much.
I just want to add one more aspect to that. When we are using that grinders are vitrified bonds. When you increase the RPM of the grinder, that bond weakens. At particular time, when it breaks, it bursts, it leads to the casualty at the workplace, and you cannot avoid that. You put all the safety guards, everything, nothing happens. It happens. That is the new normal in that process.
Robotics and other solutions are available in the market, but it is not affordable to MSME. So my question is to Dr. O.P. Vermaji, how can academia research be translated into practice, affordable sustainability solution for MSME, and can we move beyond research to implementation?
Yes. As I have done my PhD in the paper problem, I have done my PhD in the recovery section of the paper mill, where the waste materials, that is the plastic and type of material, are going to discharge in the river and directly in the river, and that contains a heavily hazardous chemical. And in the area of the Saharanpur, like city, Urki type, where so many rivers are flowing and contain this hazardous type of the materials. These are waste material of the paper mill and also the sugar mills. So that river, the persons who are living there, the river named as a cancer river. The people are getting affected by the cancer. So the solution is the integration of the automation and the technology. But the problem is again we have to understand the problem of the industry, and industry come up with the academia and give the problem such that this is the problem we are facing, and we have to distribute again the problem to the solution, students, and searching the solution. So the automation and the integration of the AI technology and the different new technology among this is the solution only, as I think.
Okay, now move to the profit, efficiency, innovation and growth. So my question is to Sabharwalji. Do you see innovation as a cost or as an opportunity for improving profitability? And what kind of innovation have actually helped your business?
Innovation is an opportunity, it is not a cost. Anything that gets invested in your process improvement or in your equipment refinement or in effort to make your facility more workable is an opportunity and is an investment, not as a cost. Now, coming to innovation per se, what kind of innovation do we need in our industry is like we are in a business to make castings, forgings, or defense-related products. That means we are converting, we are using the 4M, what Mr. Verma said, man, machine, material, and methods, to convert certain inputs and then sell it as output, and in the process take some profit. Now, this innovation per se is required in our industry to optimize our operations and increase the profits. So when we talk about optimizing the process, that means it is not like a CNC machine or a milling machine that we use. We just go and increase the revolutions per minute of a cutter, increase the feed rate, and get the output. That is basically called in a very crude manner abuse of cutting parameters. So that's not required. We need to look at the work holding devices per se, and if I'm explaining the matter properly, work holding devices so that the part that you want to machine is properly done. You have a best cutting tool technology available to you, with maybe it could be a ceramic cutting tool, or it could be a carbide tool. And then you try to optimize within the parameters that are defined in it. Otherwise, it will be, as Mr. Jupesh said, that we can have casualties at many places. Your component can go and fly at a very high speed, or your cutter can break. Like in case of grinding, it is bound to happen, yes. But we need to safeguard everything, and improvement in innovation, like I said, I leave it to NIT Jalandhar. We see an opportunity that we can dwell, you people can take it up, like the professor sitting here, and there are PhD students sitting here. We can talk about it offline afterwards. We can look at it like how the factory process in foundry can be automated without even using the CNC technology. And that way we can reduce the efforts of human beings. We are open to it. Our company address and telephone numbers are there in the institute. We can talk about it, and we look at this as an opportunity from the academia, that how do they participate in and support our innovation, which we are seeking. We might not have resources for it because we don't have a R&D center to do something out of our method and process limitation. So we are looking at it, and then the other thing is, when we talk about innovation, like Mr. Verma initially said in the beginning, that the institutes do have older technology to work on for the students to learn about it. But that is where the technology is. We know that since the mobile telephones are in our hand, I don't remember more than 4 telephone numbers, like my wife, probably my wife and my daughter and my son's number. Other than that, I don't remember it because it's in memory. So the technology is basically disabler. CNC technology per se, in my past experience of having worked in machine tool industry for about 15 years, CNC technology has taken away that edge and the skill of the operator and just put technology into it. So institute should continue to use those milling machines, the lathes, those pentagraphs and all that. They should keep on using, because that is where you teach your students the basic engineering. Don't forget that this is the foundation. We learned it from that. If you put a CNC in front of him, he just know that he just going to go and press this green button, because the program will take care of it. So don't lose your heart. You live with that technology and keep using it, and make your students learn about it. And then the innovation will help the students on improving the things better, because their fundamentals and their foundations are very clear. Then they'll be on the solid ground to stand and talk about it to a technologist or to an inventor or to a challenge that is cropping up in front of them, because they would be better enabled and better and knowledgeable. So in my opinion, as an investment opportunity, nothing else, no cost.
So, as per you, innovation is required for efficiency and competitiveness for the MSME. So, my question is to Japi ji now. how important is supplier innovation for OEM competitiveness, and do OEMs actively support vendors in innovation?
As I've already said, that OEM is the end product manufacturer, the brand which is selling our efforts, our supply chain efforts, the raw material what we have converted. So any disruption in the outlet is going to hammer your profits down and further down. So innovations at supplier end is very, very important, because that will help us to redesign, rethink and reduce the cost, increase the margin on the end product. And ultimately, when you are not rising up in the ladder, you might have seen smiling lips. The R&D at the top is the investment, and you want a ROI on that. On the other side, if you place the brand value, that is selling, that is also demanding, they are earning the money. At the bottom side, this is the processing, which all the complete supply chain is involved in. So supply chain has to come up with their innovative methodology, with their innovations to reduce the processing cost, to reduce the energy consumption. You just look at you have to transfer 1 kg of material from point A to point B, and let's say you are using 27 joules or 20 joules. Just think, research on that. Can I deliver the same amount of mass just reducing 2 joules, 3 joules, 4 joules? That will add up in the profit. And if each supplier in the supply chain start doing all these activities across the whole line, the profit margin, the efficiency will improve. And I just want to add up with the sustainability part which Sir has touched upon. In India, if we are manufacturing a component, we are getting, I think, 94 or 96 rupees per kg. And the same component when we are selling to the foreign companies in the USA, Italy or something, we are getting around 130, 180, maybe 200. So the exporters are happy that they are earning better than Indian market. If you see the perspective of the company where you are selling this material, they are also happy that the material which is, they can produce the same material at the same cost, but they are happy they are getting it at a higher cost. The logic behind their economy is, when you are supplying a same amount of material manufactured in India to foreign countries, you are depleting your natural resources. We are adding to the environment hazards. We are polluting our natural resources, polluting our air, polluting and what we are supplying to them, we are supplying them a hard metals, which is we are processing from our natural resources and our using the machinery available at that time. What we are getting from there? A currency, a note, which they are producing because of their monopoly. So we are sending them a material which is very precious, and we are accepting their digital currency, or we are accepting their dollars. Now the things moves on the other side. What they will do when they see you people are growing and you have enough scope to produce, they will tighten the screw by increasing the quality parameters. So ultimately, what we have to do, we have to go for the superior machinery, which is not available here. So what they are leveraging? They are leveraging their R&D. So they are again charging you the product which you are selling at 180 rupees per kg. Now for that product, you have to add more value. How you are going to add more value? You are going to buy those machines which are well capable to produce those quality from them. So again, we are at the lower level. We are, what I said, at the lower bottom side. So we have to lift ourselves up in the ladder. So that up in the ladder by innovating. We have to reduce, we have to research. Any engineer, any manager going in the shop floor must ask why this is happening. Can I reduce a little out of that? Today I am using, let's say, 10 kg sand. Can I make the same process, make the same component by 9.5 kg sand? Today I'll share with you a small story. Sulfur is considered as the impurity in casting. We never increase the percentage of sulfur up to 0.06 max. There is a bracket max. You cannot increase up to that. If you increase that, it will lead to some defects. It will lead to some sort of rejection. As Sir has told that, again, that is not in our control. So that is the blowholes, porosity. So that is the process issue. But if you increase manganese in the same proportion with the sulfur, you can use sulfur up to 0.11, 0.12%. It means 0.05% of other elements you have saved with the same strength. You have saved iron, and when you are using sulfur with manganese, it becomes a flake within the material, and which is not hard. When you turn the material, it is soft, but the strength is same because it is uniformly distributed over there. So this sort of innovations will help us to sustain in the long term, to rise up in the ladder. We should be in the dictating position, not at the receiving end. Like today they have screw us for quality, tomorrow they will sanction us for high carbon footprints. The sanctions are on the way. The innovation, you people, industry, both have joined hand to get rid of all this activity. Hydrogen, and I just yesterday I was discussing with this sir. Hydrogen and oxygen both are unstable unless they join hand together and convert themselves into water, which is more important, more stable throughout their lifespan. So industry as well as academia has to join hand to mingle like a water. So that's my.
So for the innovation support system become crucial. So my question is to Dr. O.P. Vermani. How can academic innovation be aligned with cost-sensitive MSME environments, and how do we ensure adoption, not just development?
See, actually, cost cutting is again the problem of the innovation, optimization, and GPS has said cutting off the 150 gram or something else is very important for the saving the energy, a lot of energy and a lot of effort. So, in order to that, skill development, the sir said that the training of the main, the engineers and the trainers is very important. So, like in view of that, my answer is in cost cutting only depends on the automation, integration of the technology, and the well-trained engineers. That comes again with the only the solution with the internship program. Like that, we have to hold in the hands with the industry, and industry come to the front and distribute again the same answer to the question. The problem is distributed when the cost, because we have the solution, we have the student have the potential to solve that problem. Recently, we have started in the PhD program. All the students should be taking the problem of either society problem or working in the industry problem. It is a mandatory to all the PhD scholars right now from the current session. So I hope in the future it will become the solution of all the industries.
Thank you for your valuable. Thank you all for your esteemed panelists for such a rich and practical discussion. If I may summarize today's conversation in 3 simple takeaways. For the industry, especially MSME needs skilled and adaptable professional, practical and cost-effective solution, support in adopting sustainability without compromising competitiveness. And for academia side, align learning with real industry challenges, move from theory to implementation, and focus on creating industry-ready professional and deployable innovations. So, for this collaboration is the key. And the most important takeaway is the gap is not in knowledge, but in connection and education. When industry, academia, and institution work together, we can achieve skilled workforce, sustainable practices, and competitive growth. This is exactly the pathway towards Viksit Bharat. I sincerely thank you, our panelists, for sharing their valuable insight and expectation. I would also like to thank for the organization for bringing together such a meaningful platform for dialogue and collaboration. I now request everyone to please join me applauding our panelists for their insightful and engaging discussion. Thank you.
I extend our sincere gratitude to all the esteemed panelists and the moderator for such an insightful and engaging discussion on the theme MSME Academia Innovation Connect, showcasing challenges, collaboration and convergence. The valuable perspective shared on innovation, industrial challenges, research collaboration, skill development and the role of academia in strengthening the MSME ecosystem have been truly enriching and thought-provoking. The discussion has provided meaningful insights and opened new avenues for strong industry-academia partnerships and collaborative growth. So thank you everyone. And I also thanks Rajnikantji to moderate the session. Thank you very much. So with this, we move to our informal discussions with the sitting faculty members. We have the TPO members, industry. So this is an informal session. If we can discuss about how collaboration can be strengthened, how further this R&D can be taken forward. So you all are welcome to talk and discuss. Yeah, that's an open discussion. Students also, if you have any query, questions, we have experts from ministry, we have experts from industry, faculty members.
Hello, very good afternoon to everyone sitting here. So I have a very general query. So majorly we have our BTech students, those who visit the industries for internship and placement. So talking about the R&D, we have PhDs and some of our master students, those who are working on our project. So how can we send our maybe a short internship period. What are the possibilities for that?
Hello. Yeah, I believe this is a new aspect that PhD scholars want to go to visit industry to understand the basic needs of the industry. So as of now, I don't think we have any structured way to address your query, but definitely your query will be raised to our management, and we will look forward for hosting the PhD scholars or MTechs teams, so that they have the exposure of the industry, how the industry is actually working and how they are performing in the academia. This will definitely bridge up the gap.
I have another answer to this question. Central Institute of Hand Tools and NIT Jindal are already in a written memoranda of understanding that we will support your students with the infrastructure and facilities that we have in our institute. We have the designing facilities, heat treatment facilities, forging facilities, then tooling, die, fixtures, whatever the requirement may be from your PhD students. Our infrastructure is there for the utilization. You can guide your students to get the benefit. And I have another answer for one question that was asked in the morning, that what are the different methods to get the grant in aid. Our Ministry of MSME, Government of India, is also offering incubation centers for the young engineers, technocrats, as well as our ministry is also funding the projects in Smart Hackathon is there, then Mudra Yojana is there, Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program is there. You can get the benefits of our Ministry of MSME to start your own enterprises. For this, you can visit our single website, that is mymsme.gov.in. This is the ministry's website where you can get the various schemes that are available for young entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
So it was a very time-demanding talk and panel discussions over here about the innovations and academic challenges. So I am just in between of these two, and this title Industry Academia Conclave is well suited to me because I am the here also and in the startup also. So I understand the actual challenges that we are facing. So in this regard, just one thing was that particularly the problem statement, how it can be implemented. Some execution can be done. So if in regard of academia, obviously the attempts are being made so that some curricula wise we can make towards the industrial applications. It is already on the run. So from the academia part, if we are able to do, so why not from the industrial side so that they can also approve to forward their hands so that the academia can grip that and they can make a channel for the free flow of the students and the researchers from the academia to the schools. I think this is the need of the time. So that's it. So your opinion, please.
I really appreciate that you are also putting a big step to bridge the gap. The point is why industry should come to this point and why academia will go after to catch up that problem. When there is a given the common goal and you will find a situation win-win for yourself, and I find the situation win-win for me. Then only this proposal will be workable. When I'm struggling with the manpower, but I have devised means to bridge up that skill level. If I'm not getting a mechanical engineer, if I'm not getting an electrical engineer, I have trained the ITI person who is capable of doing that small job which is requirement of that hours for me. But yes, I also need a deep knowledgeable person to run the show, because ultimately the maintenance cost or the breakdown cost in the processing industry is very, very high. So this initiative, whatever you have organized, is definitely going to, I think, make a difference. And slowly, but not immediately, the industry will also come forward. I think yesterday one of the panelists, he said that you are welcome. Whenever the academia want, they can come, they can take the problems. We are also having some specific problems like sand, pneumatic sand conveying. The pipes and the bends are getting eroded over a period of 3 months, over a period of 4 months, and we have to replace them. Or we are keeping a separate pipeline ready for that. So if academia can work on that, we are working with the different coatings, different materials to increase the life of the pipe, but yet we are not able to find it. And that too in this area, in Ludhiana or in Jalandhar, or let's say in the north side, those pipe manufacturers are not putting that much effort to coat the inner side of the pipe so that the abrasion and the wear out of that metallic part can be reduced to increase the life of that pipe. Why I am saying that is the core for this foundry process. Because we are dealing with the sand everywhere. If the sand is not delivered at a particular point, at a particular time, at a particular rate, the whole process will lose its efficiency and the cost of the product will go up. So, yeah.
Thank you. At least you share the problems and actually what I was talking about. So we should be able to share the problems from the industries frequently. It should not be like that one time in a month, like such a conference. So the thing is that some efforts should be made, some modules should be made, some programs should be made in such a way that there should not be any conflict between the academia and the industries, and they could be very much comfortable to connect with each other.
Definitely, that is there, but at this point, if you ask me to fund your research, it won't be possible for us.
No. It is not about the fund, it is about sharing the problems.
We will give you the continuous string of problems we are facing in the industry, but it should be result oriented.
I would like to add to whatever came up, the questions came up through the panel discussion as well as what Dr. Mahesh Shah recently put up. It is not about the funding. Actually, the same question was coming to my mind also. We often sit with the industry people to make collaborations, and like with Central Tool, we already have an MOU also. But we are not yet able to reap any fruit out of all such MOUs with industry. So the question here is that, like Sir also said, that the industry wants every student to be skilled in one particular trade. And as academic institutions, we are preparing our students to be capable of going to any industry, I mean that relevant stream only. So this particular skill training is possible only through internships with those industries during their graduation period, as well as through the projects, live projects of those industries. If our students get to work on live projects of the industries during their graduation period, then only they will be skilled for that particular industry. Otherwise, institutions like us cannot provide skill training in one particular according to one particular industry needs only. So this is the question, how to get those problems of the industry. Here, the institute is not asking for any funding. It is getting the problems, live projects upon which our students can work. Because then only they will be able to work on, those specific skills. And one more thing, this is my question to you, one more thing which I would like to apprise everyone present here. That is that one question came up that I think Mr. Jatish said that they want people who are trained in mechanical, some concepts of mechanical, the student needs to have some concepts of electrical also and some other trades also. So I would like to tell everyone that NIT Jalandhar has recently come up with a very innovative laboratory course, which is the hands-on exposure to the students. It is a course, laboratory course, wherein we form project groups of 4 students, wherein we have 2 students from computer science branch, 1 from mechanical engineering and 1 from electronics and communication engineering branch. All the students, and this is a mandatory course in the first year of their graduation program here. The title of the course is Design Thinking, and with every group 1 faculty member is associated and they are working on some projects, and at the end of their semester they put on a show before the entire institute, and this was for the first time that this kind of an exhibition was held. And I mean, we were also astonished to see that our students can do wonders if they are if they get a chance to collaborate with each other. So this is, I think, answer to Mr. Jatish Chandra's question that it is not possible for the institutions to provide in-depth knowledge in electrical as well as mechanical, but what we can do is we can provide them a platform to collaborate so that they understand, the electronic student understands what are the electrical aspects of this particular project, what are the mechanical aspects. So, but the answer to the first question, we both still want from you that how to get the projects. This is the major challenge. Thank you.
Before going to that, I have if the model you have to make, we have to make one model. Like at first block, we have to do the major project, major problem, and then the micro problem, and then we have to allow there to visit the industry and see what is the exact problem in that machine or something, right? And then we come again and sit together and then search for solution, and then we distribute the problem to the students. So this, I think, this is the solution that best we.
I think you said it. I was about to talk about it. Industry is generally shy of telling the problems that they have. I don't know. One is we are afraid of going to the doctor, but then we will try that we have a problem. I really appreciate that there should be a data flow, information flow between the academia and industry proactively. Then only the solutions can be provided, and then only we can come and claim that there's a disconnect between industry and academia. This is a weak point that industry is living with, because there are professionals inside the organization, and they have to prove their mettle as competent people. So they don't spell out too much. But we sometimes, when you're in the industry, having a total kind of a helicopter view of that organization, then you realize that people are living with the problem. So only at the function level you will never get this problem, but only thing is from the top, people who are sitting at the top of the organization will have a feel of it and they can approach it. I take your point, at least from my organization, I make sure that you get a couple of problems at your table. So, okay, thank you.
This is a connected question. Because for small scale industries, funding R&D section is, I think, not a sustainable idea. You cannot spend too much money in research and development. So I want to learn that how do you organize your problems, because your problems are not hypothetical. In academia, problems may be hypothetical. But what you are doing, this is certainly not hypothetical. So how you organize? For example, in a year, suppose you encounter with 10 problems, and you get to understand that if I have a solution for those problems, it is going to enhance the sustainability of entire ecosystem. So do you have any mechanism where you keep the record of all the problems? If it is there, kindly share with the regional institutions which are
around your area.
and then if any of the person who is working in that area, he can get the solution. We don't need money for that, but we need the real problem.
Sometimes solutions don't cost anything. And if the visit to the industry and maybe look at the equipment or look at the entire process can give you a solution. I fully agree. We should be, as I said, we should be proactively sharing it.
Because for organizing the problems is just listing out that this is the issue we have. We know it is the issue, but we don't have the solution. If it is organized and out of your company, then it can have a solution.
Absolutely.
Sir, there is one example I would like to share. There was one department here, the Department of Soil and Water Conservation, Government of Punjab. So yesterday one engineer came to deliver the lecture. So he was talking about they are having around 500 MLD of STPs in our government of Punjab, and they are going to track that particular STPs, how much water they are treating and how much water is going to be used for the irrigation purpose, because they want to reutilize that particular water. But whenever they were talking to in any industry, they are actually purchasing that technology from the foreign countries, and they got around 7 to 8 crores of that particular amount. But then whenever we discuss about that particular thing, we propose that idea. If you will give us this particular work, because we were not getting that particular, they are having the problem. Once we get the problem, they are facing this particular problem, like they want to track the how much amount of water is going on. That can be done digitally. We can work on it with civil and electronics. People can work together and devise a system that can track all the data on the cloud, and that can be seen on the system. So whenever we are not interacting, we will not get the problem. This problem can be done only in 10 or 20 lakhs, apart from that 7 or 8 crores that they were spending. That's why we also want like that kind of problem. If you will share with us, so we can work on it. It's not like we need money, but we can give the exposure to our students, like Dr. Abhi told, how our students can interact with you and get the problem, and they will start working. They will keep visiting your site as well as they will working here, so that we can work on same platform. This is the only idea that.
Absolutely.
I would like to add to this. The Government of India FLC crystals are there. So one such initiative has already been undertaken by Punjab University earlier. They have a center named Technology Enabling Center. So if you visit the website of Tech, so all the industry problems in the 30 region, they are already listed on that website with their abstract. And what a beautiful composition. FLT cluster, what is it? We as an academic institution, we will go to the tech will do the matchmaking with the industry, and if there is a joint proposal, full funding for that proposal will be through FLT. And first, industry has to give only one recommendation that if the solution is developed, we will deploy it. So that is it. So when I intended how to develop technology one activity over there, it opened to us also that center that we will provide you TAG vehicles. You go 2 or 3 days in the industry, the study spend and bring the problem for us. That was another way out. For example, we were being trained in a program, and they were funding us through that program that you as a participant, you go to the industry, bring 4 or 5 problems, and it will be listed on their website. And if we see it is already there, it was a good initiative because I got an opportunity to be in this system in 2009 to 10 while I was working as a district over here at Medical. So there was a good option that we gave electives to first year semester, second, fourth, sixth. But I wish if we have that cluster itself for the northern region, if it is in field engineer, it can be in an engineer.
We have also made a lot of electives for different interdisciplinary departments.
And industry can support us in the sense that you can, with your partners, we can bring those all problems in a common platform, and that website can be web page can be hosted on the website of an IIT Jalandhar. So that can be for this region, like Jalandhar or Punjab, or we can have Jammu Kashmir in this region. So Jammu Kashmir is part of that Punjab University.
That's a good to have kind of a situation. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you everyone. I believe that's a very fruitful discussion for started right now. So with this we come to the concluding session of the Industry Academia Conclave 2026. It is time to reflect upon the enriching discussions, inspiring keynote talks, insightful panel sessions and meaningful interactions that we have witnessed over the past 2 days at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. We are confident that the discussions and collaborations initiated during this conclave will pave the way for future partnership, joint research initiatives, startup support, internship opportunities, and stronger industry academia engagement. We would be delighted to invite our few of the speakers or the industry experts or the participants, exhibitors, to kindly share your feedback or any comment you want to deliver or suggest for us. We are looking forward for your feedback. Anyone? Any expert?
Excuse me, sir. Sir, at Conclave like this, there is always a strong emphasis on encouraging young people to innovate and build startups. However, the reality we face on the ground is quite different. Many young founders, including myself, find that when we actually build enterprise-grade solutions and approach decision makers, we hit a wall bias simply because of our age. People hesitate to take us seriously even when our technology is proven. How can industry leaders bridge this gap between encouraging young innovators to build and actually trusting them enough to pilot and adopt their solution in real market?
Question, not feedback. Just a question.
This is basically idea is take the young mind seriously.
We are taking young minds very seriously, and we know that you can make wonders. But only point is the right time at right technology at right time. I still remember one of my guide, the PhD, Dr. Parashar. His father invented gas-driven motorcycle in 1984. Can you imagine? And he was promoted to exhibition in New Delhi. But that idea did not work at that time, because that time was not correct for that technology. People, the acceptance is very important. First, your idea must have some merit. That is why you are working on that, and that is why that is provable. It has run through the test. But when the time, the situation is not favorable, hold on that idea, wait, have patience. This young generation not have patience. They want the miracle happen overnight. Just have patience. The day will come when you will perform and your name will be highlighted and the work will be recognized. Just have patience.
I would like to add to this. When we say talk of entrepreneurship, there are three aspects to it. One is your psychology, and second one is your structure of how to go about the things in phases. Third one is your knowledge about all rules, regulation, and everything. So when we as a students we start, what we do, we are technologically very much obsessed with our whatever I am doing, it is very good. It has to be there. But at the same time, we have to have the complete awareness about all the phases for which I have been talking. For that, you have to interact with the industry people, you have to have the case studies, role models, like you have to visit stuff, you have to meet them. Very basic.
We are still looking for any feedback or suggestions.
Can we give our feedback?
Yeah, we're looking for, I said from speakers, panelists.
If somebody wants to speak ahead of me, can do that, please?
Yeah, I have one query. So I'm Dr. Girish. I was a student before. I am PhD from NIT Jalandhar. And from 2022, I'm running my own startup. So I heard from the faculty that they are looking for problems. From my point of view, I look at it from another angle, like India doesn't seem to have a shortage of problems. Right? We have many problems when we go out. It's a waste management. When we go out of NIT Jalandhar or in NIT Jalandhar itself, we are producing a lot of waste, and we are, hiring a contractor who is taking our waste and putting it into the Haryana dump site. If anyone hasn't visited the mountains in Jalandhar, if you want to see the mountains of garbage in Jalandhar, you can go to Haryana. There are almost three manzil dump hai wahan pe. Or NIT is contributing to this also. When we talk about water, Punjab का groundwater level you all know. Pollution की बात करें तो वहाँ पे different parameters हैं जो अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की नई गाइडलाइंस आई हैं. तो इंडस्ट्रीज में प्रेशर है. Being from industry also, I know these are the challenges. When we develop anything, they ask us many questions. But when we are at an industry level, we don't have that much funds, manpower, or time to do the R&D. And when we approach the R&D person, they say it like, would you be able to fund us? So my clear question is, if you have, give us the clear guidelines whether you want funded projects or non-funded projects, because problems are everywhere. In India, we are not shortage of problems. And as a tangible output of this industry academia Conclave, what I want, because I have spent almost 5 years in NIT, so we want a platform out of this. I mean, the real output could be one platform where if I am industry, I can approach one dedicated person in NIT Jalandhar who is serious, willing, and have the capability to do the project on ground level. Not in the classrooms. We want people on ground level, professors of practice. A new term in
I agree with your point of view that the problems in India, scarcity, so much problems are there. But actually the problem is that everyone is not capable of solving all the problems. Everyone has the expertise of his own field. Like for example, your field, I know. So likewise, you are looking for you have another problem. So that you want to connect or showcase your company so that you can solve your problem. But who is willing to solve your problem, they might have another problem. So it is a collection of so many problems. The thing is that now, like sir was also telling, the right time, the right solution and the right person can solve the problem. So my perspective of problem is different, yours is different. But anyhow, this conclave is meant for that we can understand each other, and maybe personally, may not I, but around us someone can solve your problem. Okay, so likewise, we should always look for the opportunity, and this is platform has given such opportunity. And let's see, my problem can also be solved by yours also.
If we talk about climate, this is not my problem. This is not your problem. This is our own problem.
So actually, the kind of problems you mentioned, they are not even national level. This is a problem of entire Southeast Asia.
Yes.
So, but we were discussing about small scale issues because the place where we are sitting, we also have limitation. We know problems is everywhere, but we are going to look at it in a very organized way where we can deliver something. It's not like that we are going to hit our head on the wall and we get nothing.
That's what my simple suggestion is. We should make a single entry point where industry people can approach with their problems in NIT zone. That's it.
Sir, we agree. I would like to add. I agree with you. You are absolutely right. Problems are everywhere. But there are two things can be done together. One is the R&D, one is the implementation. So here we can go for the R&D. It is very difficult for us to implement those things. We can go for the like whatever the problems you have, we will work on the how the efficiently we can solve or how efficiently we will work on it. Then you can implement on the ground. This is the only things we want.
The platform we can create where the industry can submit and unique ID is assigned and students can access those projects. We can visit the website of techpu.in.
We can open our portal where you can submit your problems. Those who are interested to work on it, they can contact their particular person and then they can work on it. This is only the approach.
That is right.
Yes, we can work on R&D and we can work on implementation.
Everyone
we have to start. It is not like you can be negative from the beginning. We have to start for something. Maybe it may not be possible.
Like students, 6 weeks training is there, so they can visit the industry.
No, the conclusion is that we both should come forward, both industries also, academia also, and those who are working both in industry and academia like me. So the thing is that we should understand each other and without expecting the personal perspective or benefit, we should think of the global scenario, not at the personal perspective.
If I could just add one final comment to the industry here, I've been attending this conclave for the past 2 days. So I have been hearing suggestions from industry as to what academia should do, what academia should, anticipate the industry's learning. So forgive me my boldness if I sound a bit bold here, but I've been seeing that the most successful industry-academia relationship was maintained in US, right? So, and they have been very bold in using their risk appetite. So as Sir has also said that some of the MSMEs here have very low R&D budget, but I would like to just question their industry's risk appetite here, that they are not able to fund students' projects before they are incubated. Every industry panel there has been commenting on once the startup is incubated, once the technology is mature, the industry can come in and fund. But I'll just give a brief example. Google, before it was funded, it was not a startup yet. It was funded by Sun Microsystems. They invested $100,000 before it was just a student project. So at that time it was invested and they got a return of $1.5 billion. And there are various examples in USA of such companies bearing fruit because of the industry's risk appetite in investing in academy. So I would like to just see why in our country our industries have less risk appetite as compared to theirs.
If I'm supposed to answer this, I'll answer it like this. Let's look at it as an industry and academia relationship in the sense like what an industry can offer and what an academia can offer. For industry is into making some final products, right? It could be a casting, it could be a cooling, it could be a car, or it could be a Google product, right? As you said. Now academia is supposed to do what? Their final product is students, right? So they have to be finest. Like any industry, Google has to perform day in, day out, 24/7, 365 days. So industry, academia is looking at the students as their products and their way to. Now the baby step to do that is get into an internship program. Like as I was speaking earlier also, like that we got a response of about 40 students from this college itself. But then, for reasons better known to the students, 2 people have joined us and we welcome them. 2 students have joined and we welcome them with open hearts and we are giving them the privilege. So you need to take these steps have to be taken from both the sides. Like these could be a baby steps. Let's not talk about what happened to Google, like the funding happened from Microsoft or from somebody. Those are like if you want to do a case study, there will be one success after 99 failures. Right? So let us go at making efforts first. So your answer is get into a doable approach, get into an apprenticeship, not come to my industry, but go anywhere, but get into a working one. Then as we talked about 2 other principles, take care of the environment and look at the innovation. When will you do that innovation? When you are fundamentally strong. When you know that this pipe is not functioning properly, it needs to work even from there. That it might have a 1 meter range. Okay? So the technology that goes into it, making it like only 5 meter range काम कर रहा है और या 1 meter पे काम कर रहा है जो भी है, तो get into a mode of execution or into like taking the baby steps and approaching the problem first. Get trained, get into it, and then talk about the company level or the national. Simple as.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I thought you finished it.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. So thank you, everyone. And I actually interrupted the session because I think you all are waiting for lunch. And we will quickly conclude this session. And before I miss, I thanks Manish Kothari ji and the Rhino Industries Private Limited to connect the esteemed panelists with us. It's all credit goes to him. And formally, I invite Dr. Mahesh Patel, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Organizing Committee Member, to please deliver formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. So very good afternoon, everyone. I think I am in the middle of your lunch, so I will not take much time. I will try to complete this particular task quickly. So as we come to the close of the Industry Academia Conclave 2026, it is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on the behalf of organizing committee. So first and foremost, I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable Director, Professor Vinod Kumar Kanojia, for his visionary leadership, constant encouragement and unwavering support in organizing this conclave successfully. His guidance and commitment towards strengthening industry academia collaboration have been the driving force behind this initiative. I also extend our sincere thanks to our registrar, all the deans, heads of the department for their valuable administrative support and cooperation extended throughout the planning and execution of this conclave. A special note of gratitude goes to Professor Mamta Khosla, the former Dean Industry and International Affairs and Executive Chair of Industry Academia Conclave, whose dedication, guidance and continuous efforts played a pivotal role in conceptualizing and successfully organizing this event. I would also like to sincerely thank our chief guest of honor and all the distinguished keynote speakers, panelists, industry experts, startup founders, academicians, researchers, government representatives, sponsors, and for their sparing valuable time and enriching the conclave with their insightful talks, discussion, and experiences. Your presence and contributions have made this conclave highly meaningful and impactful. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to all our supporting organizations for their valuable support and continuous towards the successful organizing this particular event. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our platinum sponsors, Governmental India Private Limited and Keysight Technologies, for their generous support and partnerships. We also sincerely acknowledge our gold sponsor, Sports and Toys Exports Association, and our associate sponsors, Swine Environmental Private Limited, for their valuable contribution to this particular conclave. We would further thank our supporting sponsors, Monotech System Limited and Ultratech Cements, for their supports and encouragement and their continuous as well as their presentation in this particular conclave. Special appreciation is also extended to our NITJ TBI supported startups and exhibitors, including Livestronics Private Limited, RF Technologies, INS Technologies Private Limited, Raycom Technologies Private Limited, and Cloudfin Operation Solutions, for showcasing innovation and entrepreneurship excellence during the conclave. We also gratefully acknowledge the participation of our esteemed exhibitors CSIR Central Leather Research Institute, Central Institute of Hand Tools, and Astra AI Private Limited, whose presence added immense value to this event through technology demonstration, interaction, and knowledge sharing. Your support and participation have significantly contributed towards making this conclave meaningful, impactful, and successful. I extend my appreciation to all the organizing committee members, Professor Ajay Bansal, Dean Industry and International Affairs, Professor Arun Khoshla, Dr. Balwinder Raj, Dr. Neha Yadav, Dr. Pragya Ranjan Rao, Dr. Saurabh Kango, Dr. Narendra Kumar, Dr. Hari Murugan, Dr. Nisa Chaurasia, Dr. Aisana Rajkumari, Dr. Anupam Yadav, Dr. Urvashi, Dr. O.B. Verma, Dr. Palani Swami, Dr. Sunil Dutt, Dr. Charan Chaudhary, Dr. Vinod Ashokans, and all other faculty coordinators who supported us, and the staff members for their hard work, coordination, and commitment behind the successful conduct of every sessions and activity during this conclave. A very special thanks to our enthusiastic students, volunteers, whose energy, dedication, discipline, and tireless efforts ensured the smooth management and successful execution of the event. I would also like to place on record our sincere appreciations for our social media team of NIT Jalandhar for their excellent efforts in effectively covering, promoting, and showcasing the event and activity of the conclave through various media platforms. I would also very grateful to our team planning and team for their continuous supports during the event. Further, I am thankful to our staff of Computer Center for their managing the venue flawlessly, and I would also like to thank our participants, student, faculty members who came from across the department, and industry delegates for their actively participations and engagement throughout the conclave. We are confident that the interaction and the collaboration initiated during these 2 days will continuously grow into meaningful partnership, innovative projects, research collaboration, and opportunities. With these words, I have taken a lot of time, but these words I would like to thank each and every one of you, your gracious presence and valuable support in making Industry Academia Conclave 2026 a grand success. Thank you so much everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. With this, we formally conclude the Industry Academia Conclave 2026 with the hope that the valuable discussions, ideas, and collaborations initiated during the conclave will be taken forward into meaningful partnership. We look forward to coming back with many more such impactful events in the near future. Thank you everyone for joining, and further you all are invited for the lunch arranged at the Student Activity Center, so we all can go together. Thank you everyone for joining, and thanks to all the speakers. Students, yes, students are also invited for the lunch. Please join us for the lunch. Thank you.
सर एक फोटोग्राफ
One more request to our faculty members, esteemed panelists, and the organizing committee members, if we can take a group photograph here inside of it. Students can